I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. But don't say that 5 times, or he might come and kill you in a mirror. Wait, that's a different killer in a different movie. So you could say ice cream shit all you want. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Leopoulos. I love ice cream. Brandon T. McClure, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, I'm pretty lame. I like vanilla.
Well, hey, guess what? So do a lot of the characters in the book we read this week. Ben Magnet, what kind of ice cream are you digging?
Chocolate chip cookie dough has always been my favorite and always will be.
It's pretty good.
Is there a Dodgers ice cream?
Not yet. There might be. Although there was back in the day before COVID when I was really young, there would always be these.
Sorry, what? Back in the day before COVID when you were really young.
Yeah.
COVID
you know when we would actually be able to go outside, when I would actually be able to go to Dodger Stadium.
Ben, COVID wasn't 20 years ago.
You word it wrong. Shut up. Let me tell my damn story, okay?
Sure.
No, when back in the day, Dodger Stadium used to sell these really good ice cream sandwiches. It was like a huge ass vanilla ice cream with 2 cookies, and it was bomb as all hell.
It was overpriced too, right?
I don't remember. I never bought one.
Oh yeah, your parents paid for everything.
Was over. I mean, let's be real. Probably was.
Real quickly before we get into it, I want to move this out of frame. I want to mention we got some cool stuff in the description below for the replay, for the audio, for this, for the live. If you go to the description, we have Ryan Iliopoulos on Downright Annoyed.
That's me.
And we also have, that was Leon the Professional, correct?
Leon Colin.
We have that in the description below. We also have our latest episodes of the Fake Nerds Watch for Lovecraft Country, our last episode for that, and The Boys, our special, and a basement arcade for Dead by Daylight. Those are all in the description below. If you listen to the replay, if you're watching the replay or listening to the audio, I've also time-coded every single news item. So check that description, guys. I put in a lot of work in those descriptions. Brandon's
on top of it. We are currently down a fake nerd for the time being. Sparks is doing family stuff, happens sometimes.
He will join us later.
Yeah. I'm Ryan. I don't know if I introduced myself. I never introduce my things, obviously, in the things that I host that I realize, because half the basement arcades I never say my name, so that's fun.
Spared no expense.
I don't have expenses to spare. So who wants to go first in their week?
I've got a lot.
Yeah,
I've got a lot. Yeah. So if you guys want me to go first, I can.
Yeah, why not? Let's start with you.
Okay. Real quick, the thing I pushed out of the frame, I just want to mention it because I've wanted this pop figure forever. I didn't even think they made it. I thought they discontinued it when that scene was cut from Infinity War. I don't know if you guys remember, but in Infinity War, there was supposed to be a sequence where the Hulk bursts out of the Hulkbuster. They cut that scene. It does not exist in a full scene anymore. It exists on parts in the new big, like, massive set of the Infinity Saga. But they made a Funko Pop of it because it was based off of because they were making Funko Pops before the movie was released.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been looking everywhere. And I got it.
Oh,
Let's see if I can show you the picture.
I thought you were talking about your microphone because the Funko's out of frame, and I was like, just move it out of frame if you're gonna do it. You don't have to wait or something. But now that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is the Hulk bursting out of the Hulkbuster Funko Pop. I've wanted it forever. This is so cool. I'm really sad it's not in the movie.
Is that like a GameStop exclusive?
So yes, it did release as a GameStop exclusive, and then the scene, because the scene is not in the movie, it like the price of this thing skyrocketed.
Oh, of course it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to say that was cool for me.
Yeah, I remember. Because we always find out about Funkos before the movie comes out, and sometimes you avoid that, and sometimes not. And I think I either saw that or something, or some toy like it, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then I was like, "Oh, it's not in the movie." And then we found out a lot of the Hulk stuff changed very quickly in that movie, and I'm like, "Wow, it still turned out good." Cool.
Remember Endgame? The only Funko Pops that came out before Endgame were just them in their time travel uniforms, and that was it. Yeah. Because they waited for the movie to come out to release the real Funko Pops.
Smart, yeah.
Hello, Mag. Good to see you.
Our MVP fan. You're the best.
Yeah. Okay. So, I did something. I did a lot of reading this week. I kind of got over my mental health issues that I was dealing with the past couple weeks. I'm alone. I don't know if I mentioned that, but Zara's out of town for a month.
I'm alone for a week too, so I feel you.
Yeah. So it's been really difficult. Yes, I know. Don't gloat. Anyway,
to.
I did get to do some reading. I caught up on Justice League Dark. That's a cool book written by Ram V.
I'm waiting for that, either for the trade to get out or for my bookstore to restock it, because I love Ram V a lot. I want to get that book.
Yeah, that book is so far ending what James Tynion did, which was the stuff with the Upside Down Man. He left like notes of where the story was supposed to go, and he was scripting it for a while with Ram V, and now it's just Ram V. So he's wrapping that up, and then he's going to do his own thing afterwards, which I'm really happy about. So I'm glad that the book gets to continue with him on it.
Yeah.
And then I read. We talked about it before. I did a book club. In Ryan's own words, it was the best book club I ever picked. Aliens.
That's a hell of a good book, you guys.
So I decided to read the sequel books. I read the sequel books of Nightmare Asylum and Earth War, also in a really nice hardcover. This is a blue pages. I love these hardcovers so much. I love them so much. I bought the Predator and the AVP one. I don't know if I mentioned that. These are not drawn by the same people, but they are written by the same person, Mark Verheiden. The first story is written by Den Boves, I think, and the third one is drawn by Sam Keith.
I know Sam Keith. Okay.
Yeah, he's the co-creator of creator of the Max.
Mm-hmm.
His story is the one that Ripley comes back in. So Ripley doesn't come back until the third story. No surprise, they're just as good.
Yeah, cool.
I like them a whole lot. They're shorter. They're a lot tighter. Also, he talks about it in the intro that the first one, he just shoved in all the plot he could because he didn't know he was going to get more. And then when he went to do the next two, he kind of like spread it out a lot and made sure there was time to breathe for the character work. We really like that first volume. I think that's still the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really like what it does with the alien lore and things like and the Promethean, the engineer. They were called the engineer at the time, I think. The other in the book. That's all in there. But the second two volumes are just Newt and Hicks. I almost said Nick's, their couple name. Yeah, right. It's just a story about them. Right after we left them, Earth is lost. And what do they do? And really good books. I really enjoyed those.
Excellent.
The last prop I have on my desk, so I might as well just say what it is. I bought this. I pre-ordered the Star Wars lightsaber collection. I talked to you, Ryan, about it when we recorded our Lovecraft Country episode. But I really like personalized weapons. I have the Harry Potter one too. Mm-hmm. And some of the lightsabers in this one are really cool. I love looking at just the individual personalized lightsabers. They got everyone. It's all canon. So they got Kanan, they got Ezra, they got both Ahsoka's lightsabers, both Obi-Wan's lightsabers.
They got the Jedi Fallen Order guys. They got them all.
Yep. They Cal Kestis. They have. I hate that they do this, but they call Anakin's the Skywalker lightsaber because it was Anakin's, then Luke's, then Rey's.
I mean,
I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have both of Darth Maul's lightsabers, and then
is that the lightsaber that killed all those kids?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
What a legacy.
This was your father's weapon. He killed hundreds of children with it.
Oh my
god. But this book was supposed to come out after the High Republic originally, because the High Republic was pushed to January. Mm-hmm. So there's High Republic lightsabers in here, and those lightsabers look awesome. There's like a crossguard lightsaber in the High Republic, like a proper one, not one that has exhaust vents like Kylo's.
Ooh.
And then there's one that I'm going to describe to you. It's the hilt, some design like triangle here, and then the crystal on top of that. So this is all empty, and the crystal is just on top exposed, and the beam shoots through the crystal. It's so cool. I like it a lot.
It's like when your engine sticks out of your car.
Yeah, like Dominic Toretto, the lightsabers.
I think either it said in that book or some interview I read where like all the lightsabers are going to be like, they're going to feel a lot more personal, and they're going to be like more like a part of the person there. Like there were some or more many. There's some, they were intrinsically tied to all those space cops.
Yeah, I like the And they're more leaning into the Arthurian legend of the lightsabers, because George Lucas talks about the reason why he chose lightsabers instead of blasters was to make it feel more of a fantasy setting, more Arthurian. Mm-hmm. So going to the High Republic looks to be leaning even more into the Arthurian legend stuff. So they're almost going to look medieval, like medieval swords.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot.
I mean, it's kind of Knights of the Old Republic stuff too. Like it's not like full sail down. Like some of the aesthetics are definitely inspired.
Yeah. And then I read the first volume of Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman, Complete Collection, Volume 1.
How much? Well, hold on. So is Volume 1, or is Volume 1 like 3 volumes?
It's 3 volumes. It's the Complete Collection, so it's It's a lot of issues.
Cool. Excellent.
It's got his first Fantastic Four story, which was the Dark Reign tie-in, and then I think the first 8 issues. Yeah, Dan Slots. And then the first 8 issues of his run, and right away I noticed a lot of similarities thematically with Fantastic Four and what we're reading now with X-Men.
Spoilers, literally, some people fault him for this. Every book he does kind of feels very similar.
I'm sure.
Yeah, even Avengers, like Avengers is heavy Fantastic Four, heavy X-Men. It's not a bad thing. It works for me.
That works for me too so far. Yeah. But there was a moment where like it's a 20-year-old book. I don't care. Franklin Richards from the future comes to the past and talks to Valeria Richards, and says a prophecy of like 4 cities are going to rise up and war. Like, yeah, he likes the prophecies.
Yeah, he's all about soothsayers and things coming together, all that shit.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I have the second volume. The third volume's not out yet. So I can't wait to read the second volume.
Is it coming out soon? Do you know?
I don't know. The third volume of Avengers is coming out first, which surprised me because Avengers started being released after.
Yeah, that's why there'll be a bigger seller of a book.
Probably, but I'd like to read more of his Fantastic Four because the third volume has his stuff post Johnny Storm's death.
Yeah. Oh God, that when does the What You stuff end? What did you read last? Like, I don't remember like the issue number because they're all like 567. I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, it was. This trade ended with the fourth city rising. It was like there was a city in a glacier that claimed to be Atlantis, and Namor didn't like that.
It's all those weird fish people.
Yeah, and then Mole Man has a city that's turning his moloids into normal people.
Into the high evolutionary stuff.
I think so. And then Adalin, the city of Adalin became this giant city with Inhumans, creatures from various other races.
Yes.
Because he decided that the Kree. We all knew that the Kree experimented with other races, but they weren't called Inhumans. But now they're all under the same Inhuman banner.
He brought them all together. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I really like that book.
I'm glad.
I caught up on Ten of Swords and I caught up on Death Metal. Hello, Downright Nerdy.
Downright Nerdy.
Hello.
Good evening, gents.
Hello.
He says.
Comic book talk.
I caught up on Ten of Swords and Death Metal, both really good, I think. Then I want to highlight Commanders in Crisis, which is Steve Orlando's new book.
Mm-hmm.
I read that. I think that book is really good. It's got a really strong first issue. There's no but. I know it sounds like there's going to be a but after this, but there's no but. The premise of various superheroes from alternate Earths who witnessed a crisis event now being taken onto this Earth to stop a crisis event is really cool. And there's like each superhero has a very specific role on their Earth. That's really cool when you figure it out. I won't spoil it for those who haven't read it.
Yeah.
Downright Nerd does ask me a question though. He asks, Brandon, are you caught up on Discovery? I am. I have seen the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Discovery. It's their Discovery.
Yeah. Commanders in Crisis is dope. Leading up to this book, like it had like a lot of hype surrounding it. Yeah. And, like he's done a bunch of interviews, and like he is very blatantly saying like, "Yo, I love superhero comics, and like I'm wearing my inspirations on my sleeve, and it is very like Justice League International, and very like it is very Justice League-y, but also still being very 2020 and full of diversity and just really cool characters. And like, what's the Superman character's name? He's like Ring. He's like Ring, the boxer guy.
I don't have it, but yeah, it was. I forgot his name.
That guy's really cool. Like he has a power the cooler he fights.
He is only as strong as people believe he is.
Yeah, he's basically Santa Claus with strength, and that's basically that's what Hercules has in the Marvel universe. The tougher Hercules is like that's like his power. And I'm like, that is so cool. And I want big independent books to thrive, and this book it like sold really well. Hell yeah!
Right now, it's only a 12-issue mini. I can really see it going as an ongoing for a long time.
Or doing what like Black Hammer does, and just do a shitload of minis.
Yeah.
Like this is like the base world and then build out.
Yeah, exactly. Downright Nerdy says, really enjoying it. If you were talking about Discovery, then yeah, we should talk. Maybe do a Fake Nerds Watch on it. I don't know. I didn't suggest that last year. Whatever. All right.
Man, you can do a season recap. Everything's possible. It's the internet.
True. So yeah, Commander's Christ is really good. If you're not reading it, please pick it up. That book should get a lot of accolades, and everybody should read it, I think.
Check it out.
I watched a lot of stuff. I watched more of The West Wing. I'm now at the point where Aaron Sorkin left the show. He left at the end of season 4. John Goodman was president for a second. That was cool. Even though he was a Republican Speaker of the House. That's cool.
Roseanne makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good show. That's a really solid show. It's 7 seasons, 22 episodes. I really am glad that prestige dramas are shorter now.
Yeah,
because this is a chore.
And even again, like even back then, like what would be considered prestige shows had to be part of the formula of 22 episodes. Like you had to stretch that shit out. You had to have filler episodes, and like there's nothing you can do about it. That's just how TV was made.
Yeah, exactly. I just got spoiled. I just got spoiled with prestige shows now.
Honestly, thank you, HBO. Like for real. Like they were like, no, what if we made these an hour long and there's like 10 of these? What if we're just paying? Like,
I mean, going back to early Game of Thrones, like the first few seasons, they told a whole concise story in one season. I loved it.
Yeah, it was short.
Yeah, an hour. Hour long, but
the season was only 13 episodes
or 10 episodes. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, because I remember there are times where I was rewatching, or not rewatching, but watching Smallville for the first time, and I get through a few filler episodes. I'm like just sitting there going, "How many more episodes until I get back to the good shit again?"
All of season 6, buddy.
That's all. That's just the CW in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Was season 6 the introduction of the JLA?
No, Season 6 was when Lana married Lex.
Oh God, yeah, that season.
Downright Nerdy says, "LOL, I'd love to. Studio is non-existent at the moment. Yes, maybe a season recap. Yeah, dude, get your studio set up because you need to go do a podcast again."
But hey, you want to know what the best episodes in that entire show were? Season 9, the JSA episodes.
Some of the best, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys, real quickly, I wrote this down because I wanted to ask you, did you guys know that the West Wing is not actually in the building, the White House?
I have never watched The West Wing, so I don't know anything about it except it's political.
Like the West Wing of the White House isn't actually attached to the White House?
No, so it is. So you know the thing that we always see in like establishing shots of everything, and the thing that we know as the White House, which is recognizably the White House. The West and East Wing, which I thought were just the west and the east side of the building, are not that. They are actually on the sides of the block, connected to a long hallway. What we see is just where they live. They work on the other side of the block.
Oh, maybe because I've never cared. I assumed it was the opposite. The opposite. Work got done in there, and then they slept in the sides and shit.
Yeah, no, it's the West Wing. I thought that the West Wing was like the oval size thing in the middle of that building. No, the West Wing's over there.
Yo, we're all learning today.
No problems.
I've never really cared because I was the same way. I thought the West Wing was like one side of the building, and the residences where like the family lives is on the other side.
I was so confused watching the West Wing because I'm like, wait, where's this lobby that they're going through? Why do they always pull up in these random places?
See, there's a mission in one of the in like the PS2 Hitman games where you go to the White House and kill like an evil politician. Mm-hmm. And I want to say, like, well, it's also a fake game. I think there's like a museum in the middle of the White House or something. I'm like, I don't think this is here.
That's why they do a lot of the tour. I mean, because I know they have White House tours.
Yeah. It's not a museum.
No, there's like I was like, I know there's paintings. I don't know about all this.
I mean, I would like to tour the White House someday. If I would
Not
like
this,
to see it.
maybe wait a year.
Well, not now, especially
Speaking of
living in there right now.
Speaking of Aaron Sorkin, I watched his new movie on Netflix, The Trial of the Chicago 7. That's really good, guys. That's a really good movie. That's got Sacha Baron Cohen. Eddie something. What's his name? Fantastic Beast dude.
Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. He's in that.
Eddie Redvine.
Eddie Redvine. Yeah, he's in that, and so is Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen TV show, Black Manta. I can't pronounce his name, so
I got it. Yahya Abdul Mateen. The third?
I thought
that's all I remember.
No, he is the third. He is the third.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's in that. It's weird. It's a little weird because people disappear towards the end. Like, people who are main characters in the first part of the movie are not main characters by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's a really timely movie about like protesting and our rights as individuals, and really solid film. Really liked it. If you watch The West Wing, you're going to hear a lot of familiar lines. He reused a lot of things.
Sorkinisms.
I watched the new Apple TV Plus movie by Sofia Coppola, which is a new A24 movie, On the Rocks, starring Rashida Jones and Bill Murray. I don't really like Sofia Coppola that much as a director or a writer. She's a little dry for me, but Bill Murray sells the movie. It's a good movie. And Bill Murray as this eccentric billionaire and father to Rashida Jones is really fun to watch.
Nice.
So it's an enjoyable movie, I think. I watched the movie Contact for the first time ever with Jodie Foster, James Woods. We don't say that second name. That's really good, guys. I don't know if you've seen Contact, Ben. I know Ryan, you have.
Written by Carl Sagan. Who was my god growing up. Growing up loving astrology and space, like Carl Sagan and Cosmos. Like, that dude wrote a movie, and it's actually like scientifically accurate as much as it can be for still being a weird movie. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, it's really good. There's not really a whole lot I could say about a classic movie like Contact.
It's also like, just go into it not knowing much. It's really nice. It's really
I didn't really know a whole lot, and it was really fun.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of Contact.
You are in for a ride, sir, if you ever watch it. It's really long though.
All right, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a part in Contact when they decode a message that was sent back to them, and it turns out to be one of Hitler's rallies?
That is part of a scene.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There is more to that scene though.
Yeah, because later when Jodie Foster does actually talk to said aliens, they take the form of her dad.
Spoilers.
Well, there you go.
I was trying to be
clean all the way. Weird.
Ben, I wanted to be deliberately alluding to what happens in the movie because I wanted people to go in not knowing. If you haven't,
sorry, forget everything I just said. What I said was a lie.
You do a neuralizer. Yeah, it's a good movie, guys. I watched Borat 1 the first time in 14 years.
He's a mesh.
I watched Borat when I was a kid. I wish Sparks was here for this part, but I'm going to say something to Sparks. Sparks, the reason why I walked out of Borat when we were a kid is because I wanted to be offended. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to see that movie. We all went together. Sparks and a bunch of friends of ours went to go see Borat. I really didn't want to go. I was like the only no vote.
14 years ago.
So I was looking for an excuse to leave, and I left about the Jew joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always regretted it. I've always felt bad about that. That's my whole life, my 14 years being like, man, I was a real boob.
At the time, you didn't know who made the movie, I'm guessing.
I didn't know who Sacha Baron Cohen was.
Not, this is not me. Like, I'm like, I can imagine getting offended not knowing why the movie's even being made. I get that.
But again, like I wanted to be offended. I wanted to leave that movie theater. I didn't want to be there. So I 14 years later, finally sat down and watched it. It's a good movie. I can't really say anything more about that because it was a cultural icon for so long. It still is.
People were, I still remember going, when did that movie come out again? 14 years ago. So it was 2000 and math. Why can't I not?
You got it, Ben. You got it. It's not hard. You got it.
We'll wait here until you get it, baby.
2006. So I was in high school.
I was 16, 15, maybe.
I remember when that movie first hit, there were times while I was walking down the quad of my first high school, and you can hear people doing the Yak Shamash, or of course that one person very loudly yelling, "I like you, I like sex."
The not joke became very popular again in my high school. But anyway, so go ahead.
I was saying Borat, yeah, like it really was. I think for young people specifically, like who love catchphrases, for a hard month, everyone was saying all that shit.
Yeah,
I feel like Borat was the hard rated R version of the cult following that followed Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I remember when Napoleon
movie
Dynamite,
I haven't seen
a couple years before, around the same.
First time I saw Napoleon Dynamite, I thought it was dumb, and then I rewatched it and talked about it with my dad and my brother, and next thing we know, we're wearing Vote for Pedro t-shirts. All three of us.
But I decided to watch Borat 1 because Borat 2 was coming out, and I wanted to see it. I thought it looked good. No surprise, it is good.
I still need to watch. I need to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
I also watched it. So I'll just talk about it now instead of later.
Yeah.
I think Borat 1 is a funnier movie simply in the fact that Borat 1 is not a movie. It is a series of skits that is skit together. Borat 2 is a movie, and they also film skits. There was a full narrative, and like the amount of Borat and his daughter screen time shocked me. Like not in a bad way. I think this movie is amazing. Specifically, I think that actress, she's like a Bulgarian actress. Like she's incredible. Like I don't know about what you think, Brendan. Like that she gave like a truly heart-breaking performance, and again, it's all political, and it's about like Borat coming to America with his daughter and like what he thinks is best for his daughter. It's super misogynist and like very gross, and it's about her discovering what it means to be like independent and like America's version of that. And it's like, God, Sacha Baron Cohen really is like a genius at this kind of stuff.
Yeah. He spoke about being afraid for his life making this movie. I can totally see why. If you remember, we heard about Sacha Baron Cohen going to that anti-mask rally, and we had no idea it was for Borat at the time. We
thought it was for his Showtime TV show, This Is America.
Yes.
Which is very much a Borat type show, but just more skits and stuff. Very specifically targeting like 2020 politics. But this is very much, it seems like a movie really made for right now, because at the end of the movie it's talking about going to go vote, and I was like, in the movie it literally says go vote, and I'm like, man, they released it early one for that and because of the Giuliani stuff, which is just
well, and they wanted to release it at the same time of the debate.
On the debate, Did
you watch it, Ben?
No, I haven't seen Borat 2, but one thing I did want to comment on of Sacha Baron Cohen is that, because when I saw Borat for the first time and then heard about Bruno, I always saw Sacha Baron Cohen as like this guy who's just trying to like shock comedy value. But then the more I hear about him, the more I see him, it's like, no, this dude is mad talented.
Yeah. As
an actor, as a singer.
Sweeney Todd's own Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah. He was in Les Mis too. But another huge thing about him is that, I mean, yeah, he does stuff like these stupid comedy bits, but hearing about all the stuff for Borat 2, he does it with a purpose. And I really like that.
He's a very intelligent person. But I think what I want to highlight before going too far away from this is that Borat 2 is a story about a father and a daughter connecting at the heart of that. And because of that movie is so sweet and so personal. And I was shocked. And it also gives Sacha Baron Cohen a foil that is, I would argue, just as funny as he is in this.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, like people are like joking, like, "Yo, man, give her an Oscar, throw everyone off, give this random Bulgarian actress like this Oscar." And I'm like, I don't know if I go that far, but this is definitely like a career-making performance. So like, oh man, she's like really good, like being the fake like Lady Borat or whatever. Like, there's a reason he picked her. Like, she's really good. Yeah.
So yeah, highly recommend Borat 2, guys. Should definitely go see that one. I got more to talk about. I apologize.
Don't apologize.
I think this is the last thing though, if I read my notes right. I watched the Gamera trilogy. If you remember, a little while ago, I watched the first ever Gamera movie from the 1960s. Well, much like Godzilla in the 1980s and 90s, Gamera was also rebooted after it was off the air since the 70s. So Godzilla and Gamera have parallel trajectories a lot of the time. Godzilla had a very successful film franchise from the 1950s to the 1970s, and then it was killed off, ended, and then rebooted in the 80s and 90s with no connection to the original movies. Then rebooted again, but that's a different story. Gamera also had a pretty successful. No, it wasn't never as successful as Godzilla, but it was still successful. From the 1960s to the mid 1970s, and then ended. And then because Godzilla was doing so popular in the 90s, they made new Gamera movies. Dai, the studio, the direct competitor to Toho, who owns Godzilla, they created a new series of Gamera films that just exist as a trilogy and never got further than 3 movies. Directed by the guy we'll know him from as the director of the 2 Death Note movies that Japan made.
The ones that we watched?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are really good movies.
Yeah.
And he also directed my favorite Godzilla movie, which is Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. It's a mouthful.
I love long. Give it to me. I love it.
Yeah, that movie is also really great. It's really dark and spiritual about like what Godzilla truly means. It's a really like evil Godzilla, and the music is great. I like that movie a whole lot.
You have the white eye.
Yeah, that's the one with the white eyes, the complete white eyes.
I love me some evil looking Godzilla.
Yeah. So Gamera was rebooted in the 90s with no connection to the original movies at all. And with the exception of its lore. So Gamera was created by Atlantis to fight the Gauss, which are these giant bird-like creatures. Gamera, he's a flying turtle who shoots fire. I don't know if you guys seen a picture of Gamera.
He's got a turtle. He's got a jet butt.
Yeah, he's got jet arms too. He spins around as a jet.
Oh, I have seen a gif of that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've seen almost every Godzilla movie, but I don't know if I've ever seen a Gamera.
That's why I did this.
No, they did a death battle between Godzilla versus Gamera, and my first thought was like, who the hell is Gamera?
I always knew who Gamera was, but because I've seen every Godzilla movie, I never saw any Gamera films, so I wanted to watch them. I hated those Showa films. I hated that first one, the 1960s one. But I'm always heard
that they never did anything together. Like
different. They're warring studios. It'd be like Warner Brothers and Universal doing something together.
Marvel DC had crossovers.
That's true.
Warner and Universal are doing something together. It's called The Wizarding World of Harry Potter at their theme parks.
That's different. That's theme park rights. There's a Godzilla theme park in Universal Studios in Tokyo. Guys, we're going to Tokyo anyway.
Well, we have to go to Tokyo soon because Super Nintendo World's opening up.
Yeah, okay. So Gamera was rebooted in a very dark way. In a way that made that spinny turtle thing that was stupid in the 60s and 70s look really cool in this one. They reimagined the Gauss from being giant Gamera-sized birds to being slightly smaller, kind of the size of raptors with these big psychotic eyes, and when they get burned, you see them like melt and things, and it's really dark and really visceral and really brutal and gross in places.
I'm gonna look this up.
But it also, the trilogy of these films have Gamera be this like the protector of Earth, and he wants to save Earth, and sometimes that includes the people, sometimes it doesn't, because the people, who is worse for the Earth than the people? Gamera is for the Earth, not the people.
Oh, green screen! My green screen! Is it that guy?
No, that's the original Gauss.
Okay, he looks like a goofy goof.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the original Gauss. The new ones are really gross and disgusting. That's two of the same word. Sorry. But so that was Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. Then I watched Gamera 2, Attack of the Legion, which is about these giant like crab monsters who are trying to nest in the Earth and destroy the Earth that way. They came from space. They carry spores with them. It's kind of like the Venom symbiote a little bit, but they don't take over people. That's really cool. That has a really cool shot where Gamera is doing his spinny, stupid thing with the jetpacks, and the music is blaring, and it's kind of like victorious, but really downbeat. And then it like the camera's like doing this like woo 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 kind of thing with it, because they needed to hide the bad special effects. And then it like he stops and like does this anime thing where the camera like pulls back. He grows wings out of his hands and he like starts flying like that. It was really cool.
I love when things grow wings. I'm a big fan of it. Venom, big fan.
By the way, this guy also might have directed Japanese pornos in the 1980s. We won't hold that against him.
Hey, Sly Stallone was in a softcore porn. All right, nobody's like.
Also, a lot of manga artists, they actually got their start drawing hentai.
Doesn't surprise me.
let's not forget that there's a dark side of Twitter that none of us go to. It's where all of our favorite artists get paid ridiculous amounts of money to draw some scantily clad comic book characters.
Yep.
And like thousands of dollars. So like, hey man, get paid how you want to get paid. Do what you want.
Exactly. I mean, this guy made my favorite Godzilla movie, and so then I watched Gamera 3: Revenge of Iris, which is about this creature, this ancient creature that is hatched, and it's this gorgeous, beautiful creature that wants to destroy the world, and that's paired with Gamera, who's kind of a disgusting creature, this monster that you should be feared, who wants to save the world, and they have a really cool fight, like a dog fight in the sky. That was cool. These Gamera films, and I'm not joking when I say this, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, these Gamera films are some of the best kaiju films this genre has ever had to offer.
Is it that guy?
Iris, yes.
That looks dope as hell.
That does look cool.
It's like a Final Fantasy summon, Ben.
Yeah.
If you guys, Ryan especially, if you can find a way to watch these movies, hope preferably better with mine. My copies suck. I'm getting the Blu-rays from Arrow Video soon. They just put in the trilogy in one pack. I jumped on that.
Looks sick.
These movies are so well made. People claim it's better than every Godzilla movie that was coming out in the same time. I don't know if that's true, but I think that there's some real art in here. There's some real dedication to make it look. The suitmation is out of control. The visual effects are some of the best I've seen coming from the genre in the 90s. The designs of the costume of the giant monsters, like I saw with Iris, look awesome. It's a really great series. I had a really good time watching it, and they're awesome. I highly recommend to those of you who have not seen Gamera, just watch those 3 movies.
I should. You know what? You got me interested. I would like to watch these because, like you, Brandon, I've watched Godzilla a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that, Ryan?
I bought this for like $10. 50 Sci-Fi Classics. It has a Gamera movie in it.
Oh, it's probably the original.
It's Gamera, the Invincible.
I think that's the original.
1966. I don't want to watch this one.
Which historian says, and let's be real, porn is art, and it's true. I read Sunstone. Anyway,
Sunstone is amazing.
And so yeah, Ryan, you especially, Sparks, I would say the same thing to him if he was here. Those movies are great. You would love them.
It's funny. It's like you are like me. It's not like we have any reason not to watch them. Just like we chose Godzilla and then just didn't watch them. I don't know why. And they've made so many. Yeah,
I think probably because partially Godzilla is just the most famous one.
Well, but Gamera never had the cultural impact that Godzilla has. Was never quite as successful as Godzilla. There's a reason why there's no Gamera movie coming out, but there's tons of Godzilla movies coming out.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Are you gonna let me?
40 minutes.
I want to know when you watch all of. Have they made any? Are you gonna watch more? Are there more?
There's one more from where I was, but it's not a sequel. It's another reboot.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, Brandon, Mag has the same set you do.
Nice.
No, I do not. Oh yeah, the Criterion Godzilla set. Yes, I do have the Godzilla set for Criterion.
It's at a sale.
Those I would probably like those Showa films, those classic 60s, 70s films a lot more if I saw them as a kid. They're very child centric.
Oh yeah, I remember watching them because, like I said,
Gamera is the friend of all children.
Yeah, that is.
Anyway, I'm done.
I'll go.
Yeah,
it's my turn. I don't have too much, but we talked about Borat. I watched. We said that I did the downright annoying thing earlier. We watched Leon the Professional. I haven't watched that movie in a probably since high school, so like 10 years ago or more. That movie's really, really good. Luc Besson, all of his grossness and problems aside, has made some pretty good movies. And that one, Natalie Portman, she's been a stellar superstar actress since she was like a child, and she luckily didn't have the sad trajectory of child actors and go through some shit. Like she made
Star Wars,
and then she made Star Wars, and then she finished college and then still was an actress. And man, good for you. She's like just. I love Natalie Portman. She seems like a really, really cool person.
Natalie Portman's in Mars Attacks.
Yeah. She's
so young in Mars Attacks.
Yeah, I think that was like literally a year after that. But yeah, Jean Reno is really good. Gary Oldman is like a top 10 villain in that movie, man. He's so good. Leon the Professional, super good movie. I played some video games with Sparks, and that guy's not here, unfortunately. We did some more basement arcade stuff. I don't think one more. Do we have one more thing going up, Brandon?
Yeah, you have this week. There's Dead by Daylight and one more thing I forgot the name of now.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Left 4 Dead.
So we have a Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2. We talked about it on the podcast whenever the news happened. Got an update 10 years after that game came out because the community made a mod, a modded level that the developers like so much because it's made by Valve. And they own Steam. They're like, hey, we're going to put this in this game for free. And then now Left 4 Dead is one of the most popular played games again 10 years later, which is really fun. And you can watch Sparks and I play that soon. Dead by Daylight, that stuff. I played a lot of Animal Crossing this week. And actually, I've been playing Animal Crossing the last 3 weeks. I just keep forgetting to talk about it. Mostly for Ben and I, we're going to be doing a live stream on Halloween night.
That we are.
And I'm very excited.
Fanny is off screen playing it in handheld mode as we speak. Make us super spooky, babe.
Yeah. They're doing like an in-game event where you can like trick or treat with the neighbors, and it's like I asked Ben, and now with the help of Fanny, like, hey, let's make our islands very spooky because they give you lots of like special recipes, so you can make like lots of pumpkin shit and spooky shit. So I'm having a lot of fun doing that. The game's been updated a lot since I played it, and I feel bad because all of my neighbors like, hey Ryan, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry that you felt you had to ghost me. It's been 6 months, and I'm like, oh my god. And Ben, you would know this. Animal Crossing has a really fun way of being super, super real when you least expect it. So someone's like, man, I think I just want to move. You haven't talked to me in 6 months. What are you going to do about that? And I'm like, do you want me to like give you a gift? Like, what the, oh my God. So I did. I gave her an apple and she loved it. I was like, yeah.
I get in the same boat because when I was stuck home in quarantine, I was playing Animal Crossing every day. And then after I got back to work, I very rarely play Animal Crossing. And when I do, and when I finally talk to all my neighbors, and then it's like, hey, I haven't spoken to you in like 3 weeks. How's it going? I'm like, I feel so bad because I love all of my villagers.
Yeah. Mag has a question. Do you guys have the
carriage recipe?
Carriage recipe?
Carriage recipe. Oh, what was for Animal Crossing? No, like a big carriage, like a horse carriage.
I'm trying to get it.
Fanny's. I don't know if you can hear it, but Fanny's been trying to get the carriage recipe because the way you can, all these like. So really quick caveat on Animal Crossing. As much as I love Animal Crossing New Horizons, especially for the Halloween stuff, you can only get the spooky recipes like the DIYs while your other villagers are in their homes crafting it. You can't just like go to Nook's Cranny and buy it, which was I was hoping to do because then I would have had my entire island decorated in like a day. But it's like I have to go in and it's luck of the draw. It's not every time someone's crafting during the month of October they give you a spooky recipe. It's a coin flip. So it
100%. You thought you were going to say crapping.
There's also they're in the balloons they slingshot.
Yeah, the presents. They might also be in the message in a bottles that you come across every day.
I mean, but that's honestly that's Animal Crossing. Like that's the Easter stuff too. Like they don't want you to play the game for one day. They want you to play the game forever.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, you're right. Animal Crossing is a day by day thing. So because it moves in real time, it doesn't move.
Bro, I have to play every day because I have so many pumpkins now. I can do literally whatever I want. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Continue.
Yeah. So I honestly didn't do much besides that. So I'm just going to talk about some of the comics I read this week. I picked up a Dune #1, House Atreides. This is a prequel to the movie that we're never going to see. It's about Oscar Isaac's character as a child, but also Baron Harkonnen, who is Skarsgård, older Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård. Stellan Skarsgård. Damn it.
Yes, that's the actor.
Skarsgårds are there.
There's a lot. There's a whole family.
It's like the Baldwins. There's many. But it's about a lot.
We talked about that book when it was coming out. They announced it for Boom. It's the comic book adaptation of the book by Frank Herbert, which is a prequel to the book Dune.
Yes, written by his son and another collaborator, Brian Herbert and Kevin Danielson. And the art is spectacular, you guys, and it has the beautiful Jai Lee covers, and I love Jai Lee. This is some like seriously stupid good art, you guys. Like it's probably not gonna be able to see it, but like it's some seriously huge sci-fi shit. Like I know this is a miniseries. Like I don't know if it's 6 or 12 or like, 12. But it's 12.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh hell yeah! Then that's plenty. Because like I just want to read this forever. Because like the art is it's so stunning. It's the guy's name is Dev Pramanik. I'm not familiar with his work, but it's sensational. You guys know I love the Fantastic Four, and I have not been reading the Fantastic Four since probably issue like 7. Because I didn't like what Dan Slott was doing, and I know Sparks is not the biggest Dan Slott fan. I like Dan Slott for the most part. I think he has a tremendous grasp on character voices, and I never have the problem with the way he writes characters. It's always a situation he puts his characters in, whether it's killing them or changing them erratically. Sometimes it's good, like Superior Spider-Man, but like the stuff he was doing in Fantastic Four, it didn't feel cool to me. I wasn't digging it. But we have a new artist, RB Silva, who worked on House of 10 with Jonathan Hickman. So first off, guys, the art is as good as you expect it to be. It is truly beautiful and gorgeous, and it is very reminiscent of the Galactus arc, where a villain comes down and he's the herald of something bigger. So it's kind of tying back to the old stuff while building something new. And the art takes it a long way, but I think the character stuff's really good. I think he has a good grasp of the Fantastic Four. So I'm really happy to be reading Fantastic Four again. I hope he can keep it up. It ends with some really cool cosmic stuff, like you guys aren't reading it, so I'll tell you, like Nick Fury, he's been missing for a while. He's like the new Watcher. The Watcher's back and Nick Fury's with him. So like that's why I'm coming to this book right now, because I'm like, I love that shit. Please give me more of that. So
remember the Bucky Barnes, remember the Winter Soldier, Man of the Wall story? That was good.
That was written by Alice Cott. That's like one of the Marvel books that dude did before he ran away, like Rick Remender, to indie comics. That book was so sick. Iron Man, this new Iron Man book, guys, continues to be radical. It is such a we all know Tony Stark is, the genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, blah blah blah. As much as I love the MCU, the one problem I have with Marvel Comics Iron Man is they've turned him into Robert Downey Jr. And that's not always bad. Like he always was kind of jokey, but there are certain aspects, especially of his like self-destructive nature, that has just been wiped away clean. And this new run is really taking it back to Tony Stark being kind of like a dude just whose ego is unchecked. And Hellcat, Patsy Walker, is the person putting him in check. And they were like a couple in like the 70s or whatever. Like there's like all these old school villains that I like, the Unicorn, and Korvac, like the old cosmic villain Korvac is in this book.
I know Korvac,
it's such a interesting Iron Man book, and I'm just so glad to have it, because it is, the quote unquote back to basics type of thing, but it's still Tony just like not realizing sometimes he's an asshole. And it's really nice for someone to say, Tony, you're an asshole, my man. And I love that. I love that about Iron Man, because he is a conflicting character. And again, that's one thing the MCU kind of gets away from. Lastly, I got my X-Men books. X of Swords continues to be good, you guys. I think Stasis comes out next week. Is that correct?
It does.
Okay, so we're at the halfway point. I'm loving it. Everyone's getting their swords, and
we're at the 1/3 part.
No, it's what? 1/3.
22 issues. How many issues have we got? 10.
10. So okay, 11 is
halfway.
Yeah. But yeah, we're halfway here. So like, it's what we thought. Half the book was going to be the run was going to be getting the swords, and then the rest is going to be probably some dope ass Mortal Kombat.
I have
fights.
A question for you. Ben, have you read it?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I won't spoil. Why is a certain person allowed to be there if they are not a mutant?
I don't.
Because you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know. I don't.
Not Captain Britain.
Shoot, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't remember. Hey, K Titus.
Hey, K Titus. Captain Avalon.
Oh, well,
because he's not a mutant.
No, but I think he's just there for moral support.
But he's one of the swords.
Oh, he is one of the swordsmen.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, it's kind of confusing. Oh, okay. I can't talk. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, we'll talk.
It's multiverse shit.
Okay.
Okay. A Juggernaut. I just want to highlight Juggernaut because it's.
Oh man, that the Hulk on that.
Hulk on the Hulk. Oh, it's Colossus.
That's so cool.
I could see through him. Is that Kid Pride down there below under Colossus?
Yeah, it is.
Your green screen, Ryan. Green screen.
Yeah,
that's Kid Pride, right?
It is.
Dude, said the way you had the book was like Juggernaut. It was like Kid Pride as Juggernaut. Yeah,
that's good.
Hey, it's a reunion from X3. Juggernaut is not tied directly to the X books. One, because Cain Marko is not a mutant, but it also works really well because Charles Xavier mentions that in this book, and he's like, "You can't step foot on my island, but I have your back, brother." And he's like, "No, you don't. You just told me I can't live with you." So what happened with Juggernaut before this book, I didn't read, but he got stuck in limbo and he lost his powers. So at the beginning of this book, he gets his powers back again, and he's trying to get his life back on track, and he's trying to be a hero when people just expect him to be a villain. And I find it really compelling, like more compelling than I expected for a Juggernaut book. And absolutely no offense to Fabian Nicieza, but he is a old school writer. He's from the 80s and 90s. He wrote like X-Force in the 90s and stuff. But unlike a lot of older writers, I found he was able to transition to like modern writing as opposed to kind of like the old school way of writing, like in a way where like it feels very modern, and like he's writing young characters in a way that like I don't feel his contemporaries can write as well. So I want to give him a lot of credit. And it makes me want to read more of his stuff that I haven't read. So if you guys can pick up a 5-issue mini, Juggernaut's really cool. The art's insane. Ron Garney's like, Juggernaut is mwah, and he fights the Hulk, and it's savage. It's great. I think that's it. That's
all right. Ben?
All right. So as you can see,
Ben, can you do this without mentioning the Dodgers?
No.
Okay, never mind. I wanted to put a bet if we could like wait how long he's going to talk about the Dodgers.
Dude, either with it.
That's the biggest thing I did was listen to the Dodgers play in the World Series.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just think it's funny that you're so predictable sometimes.
Just like the Dodgers winning this today, right, Ben?
Hey, Ryan turned it around to something nice.
Yeah, especially after last night's heart. I don't know what they call it, humiliating.
Oh, wait, I saw that.
What it was.
Wow.
Oh my God, that loss last night. That is, I was in shock. How we messed.
You put the Benny Hill theme over it. It's really funny.
Man, that catcher should have just started breakdancing when he did that spin.
Because he thought the runner was coming straight to home.
No, you don't explain it to me. I was watching the game. I know.
I know. Yeah, you saw it at work.
It's so funny.
Because Fan was watching that last bit of the game with me, and both of us like in unison, like, what the fuck?
It's no joke. One of the biggest chokes I've ever seen. It's truly outstanding.
I feel that choke is because so that choke, I mean, while bad, it wasn't as bad as Game 5 of the NLDS last year, where our star pitcher Clayton Kershaw gave up back-to-back home runs when he came into the game, and this was
the bottom of the final inning with 2 outs.
And bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, and the tying run was on a scoring position.
Anyway, Ben, so you watched the Dodgers all week.
I listened.
They won some games though.
I listened to the Dodgers. I watched the Dodgers. We did win tonight, so the Dodgers have a 3-2 lead. The World Series picks up again on Tuesday, so hopefully Tuesday night the Dodgers will win. But if not, then there's Game 7 on Wednesday. All in all, this has so far been a great series. I still feel the Dodgers are going to win. Are going to pull off on Tuesday. They're going to get a day off, which is good. So getting off of the sports talk, because I know Brandon doesn't understand half the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Well, Ben, hey man, you're a nerd about all sorts of things. You talk about it if you're passionate. I think I speak for the rest of our show and myself for telling you we really hope that the Giants win.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'm pretty sure Michael of Downright Nerdy Podcasts agrees with you right there.
Right. Anyway, go ahead. Finish your week.
So the big nerdy stuff I did during the week, not a whole lot. Didn't play a whole lot of big games. I mean, if I did, it was probably a few rounds of Rocket League. I got 99 stars in Super Mario World, so I'm going back and forth through that.
You got 99 stars and a bitch ain't one?
Yeah. You saw, well, I put Princess on my Instagram story, but because I wanted to make it somewhat PG-13.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't know. I didn't see that. I just made that up, honestly.
Well, I did make a joke on my Instagram story. But okay. I went to Frank & Sons again this weekend. And
yeah, you do that. You're still doing that.
Not every weekend.
Just giving you a hard time.
I know. But I did get something cool. So I bought a book from this one vendor. I got Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Volume 4, the manga. Because that's coming out. But also this guy was really cool because he had this thing called the Karma Box. And the way that he was doing it is if someone comes up and buys a book off of him, or makes good conversation with said seller, he'll be like, hey, there's a box over there. Go through it. And if you see something you like, just take it. It's yours. It's for free. So I was flipping through it, and I found The Saga of Ra's al Ghul by Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams, Irv Novick, and Dick Giordano. This guy. I found this.
Yeah.
And I know Brandon is a huge fan of Ra's al Ghul, so I picked it up for him. So this is yours. Next time hopefully if the plague ends, I'll be able to see you and give that to you, buddy.
No, man, that's Frankenstein's, and we'll see each other sooner.
It's just true. That's a hell of a creative team right there. Danny O'Neil and Neil Adams. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Only caveat is it's number 2 of a 4-issue miniseries, but I saw it, I was like, you know what? I got it for free. So
mycomicshop.com exists.
It's true.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, but also I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Roger, because he gave me like the biggest like act of kindness when I was there. The Adam and I, because I'm in the middle of a move, so I'm trying to be a little frugal and like not get a whole bunch of stuff. And I was at my buddy's booth, and we were just talking because he had a Pac-Man amiibo that I've been wanting.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, how much is that going for? And he's like, oh, this is going for 30, but since it's you, I'll do 25. And I'm like, I want to, but I gotta wait. I gotta save because I'm moving and I got other stuff I need to take care of. He's like, well, okay, well, no pressure. So how about 20? I'm like,
no pressure. How about
I want to, but I said no. And then Adam and him were talking because we're cool. This is the same guy who gave me a hell of a deal on my Game Boy Advance Super Famicom reshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we're talking, and then as we're about to leave, because Adam was on a bit of a time crunch, Adam was like, yo, hold on to one of those amiibos for me, because once I'm done with the move, I'll definitely come back and take it off your hands. He goes, you know what? Just go ahead and take it.
Oh, that's
he
so
straight
sweet.
up gives me the amiibo.
How much was it gonna be?
No, he had it on sale. He was selling it for $30 because it's in the box. It's not loose, so that ups the price a little bit. And I was like, dude, I can't. He's like, no, it's going to a good home. I know you're gonna come back, so just take it. And we're getting a drink. We're about to leave, and I'm like, because I had $20 in my wallet. I was like, no, I have to do this. I feel bad. I went back to his booth to pay for it, and he said, no, go. It's going to a good home. Enjoy it. So
that's really nice of him.
Yeah, so I got a awesome little Pac-Man amiibo, which makes me happy.
All right.
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah, that was my week.
All right, that's the first third of the podcast done. All right.
And I got mine in another 10 minutes. Yay.
Yeah, mine went really long. Thank goodness Sparks wasn't here, honestly, because we would have been here forever.
Hour and a half.
All right. Anyway, so we got some news to talk about now.
Oh.
It's what we do every week. We talk about some of the news.
Yum.
Some new dates got shifted around for some more movies. We're going to be talking about this for a long time. Ghostbusters Afterlife was moved from its original March 2021 date to a new date of June 11th, 2021.
Okay.
No,
not too far. And Candyman got a date. Remember last week it was taken off. No date yet. Candyman, the new Candyman, is going to come out August 27th, 2021.
That's far away, but hey, man.
It's supposed to come out last summer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to rewatch that movie because I'm going to forget everything.
Watch, buy some Picnic Podcast masks, guys. We want to be out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Peanuts got some big news. Actually, I'm kind of sad that Sparks isn't here for this one. I'm sure he'd have a lot to say. Apple TV Plus has now become the exclusive home for all things Peanuts. So Charlie Brown, everything. They're going to be the exclusive home for the Charlie Brown specials that air every year. It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown will be on the service on October 19th, but will be free from August 30th to November 1st. So they're going to offer it free, but you can buy Apple TV Plus to have it. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving will be on the service starting November 18th, and Charlie Brown Christmas will be on the service starting December 4th. And then, so literally everything that Peanuts has ever done, every Charlie Brown, the show that is out now, the show that is going to be out soon, are all going to be on Apple TV Plus exclusively, will no longer air on network TV.
Wow.
I have something for that.
Yes, go ahead.
Boo!
Yeah, it is a little messed up considering how many people watch those every year. They're such big.
It feels like this is the same
ratings.
Okay, I feel like this is if Apple's doing this, then what is stopping NBC Universal from doing the exact same thing to all the classic Dr. Seuss Christmas thing? Exactly.
Isn't like Sesame Street only on HBO now or something too?
Yep.
So like everything that like not regular people, but it's like kids growing up watching on regular TV.
Yeah,
it's like it's behind paywalls, and like that's the world we live in.
But in Sesame Street's defense, it does still air on HBO proper. It is not an HBO Max exclusive, and so at least it is still on television screens.
And also another credit to the people behind Sesame Street, especially since of all the racial divide that's enveloped in this country recently. Sesame Street has had specials on like CNN, trying to help parents talk to their kids about what exactly was going on at the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's on HBO, but still, Sesame Street is still doing its best to get out to the general public.
So the new shows that are going to come, the new things that are going to come to Apple TV Plus are the Snoopy Show, a new Peanuts 70th anniversary documentary, and the Daytime Emmy Award Peanuts in Space: Secrets of Apollo 10. Everything's going to be free for a limited time. What's the date that this starts?
It's all free. Well, that's nice.
October 19th will be when it all comes on there, but it'll be free for a limited time on just Apple.
They're not doing they're not airing It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, or Charlie Brown Christmas, because those are holiday classics. They air every year.
Yeah, they're huge ratings. They're huge rating games.
Yeah,
I got pee for it.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But you know what else is a bummer, guys?
What?
Quibi. And something that nobody saw coming. Nobody saw coming. Quibi is shutting their doors. They're shutting down. Their last day of service is going to be December 1st. Outside of that, all their this was obvious as hell. This was coming.
See, here's the thing, though. Like,
let me play the smallest violin in the world.
I expected it to fail, but I expected at least a year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like, you're still releasing new trailers.
Yeah,
like last week there was a new trailer for something.
They're gonna try to look for a home for all the content so it can live on. Whatever.
I'll tell you what. There were some interesting shows that I really wanted to watch. I never wanted to watch any of them in 10-minute increments on my phone.
Yeah. So
if they can just turn those into regular shows I could watch on my TV, baby, we're in business.
So there is an open letter. I put the open letter that the Quibi people sent out. I put it in the description below if you guys want to check that out. If you want to read what they said for the audience, for you guys, whatever. But I do agree when they're just like, it's timing, and it's a little bit timing. It is a little bit timing because they launched during the pandemic when people didn't want short form entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
We could have gotten the year that we thought it was going to have if they had released without a pandemic.
I absolutely I understand. Like Quibi, like bite size, like I get that. Yeah. Like, but in the time of pandemic, like no one's going anywhere. Yeah. Sorry. I watch things in 8-hour chunks at this point. Like, sorry.
It's like we can binge entire seasons of TV in 2 days.
I did want to see the Golden Arm short though.
Yeah. Again, like a lot of those look good. Did you see the stupid Katzenberg thing that he said?
No, what did he say?
Oh my God. So yeah, the guy who created Quibi, he sent out during when everyone got fired, basically, he sent out a letter saying, just listen to Anna Kendrick's a song from Trolls, like the Be Happy song. And like,
I did see that.
I did.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a very billionaire thing to say, Mr. Katzenberg.
Right?
Like, wow, pick. I think the song was like "Pick Yourself Up" or something like that.
Yeah, yes, it is. I've seen the movie.
It's from Trolls. It's like, wow, what is?
Yeah, we all saw this coming. No love lost there. Valiant effort, Quibi.
Yeah.
If they just what 3 other things had were movie formats, but it's like no movie.
I don't think so.
I think there's a couple of things that they did that when put together it's a movie, but it's in 10-minute increments.
Yeah, but that one where Kevin Hart was the one where Kevin Hart wanted to be a stuntman for John Travolta.
That was a show. But okay. I think the Anna Kendrick one was a movie.
Yeah, I would watch the Anna Kendrick sex doll one.
Didn't they have a Fugitive Quibi show? They do have. They have a Fugitive Quibi show.
They totally did.
But I don't know if when making the shows, they are making them in 10-minute chunks or they're just cutting up movies. I don't know. And that's a problem.
When we knew this was going to happen when their free trial ended and 90% of their subscribers unsubscribed.
They biggity bounced.
All right.
Yeah,
anyway.
Real quick, when Ron Funches is saying, "Hey, he's King Shark on Harley Quinn, and amongst other things, he's a comedian," but he says, "Hey, I have a new show on Quibi. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to use that free trial." And I'm like, even he knows.
It's a bad idea. All right. Anyway, the industry the industry that we call show was not the only industry shift that happened. DC Comics announced this week that they are no longer going to distribute through their distribution service UCS. They have left UCS, which again they helped create, in order to be exclusive to Lunar, which is their other distribution service that they helped create. UCS would distribute on the East Coast. Lunar would distribute in the West Coast. So now they will only distribute through Lunar everywhere. Still no international service yet. And UCS...
Did DC like leave his wife for like a younger wife? Like,
sounds like... UCS said this in the press release. We will not close, but we will offer other exciting items that stores can use.
Bags and boards.
They cannot distribute. UCS no longer is it. UCS is a comic book distributor that cannot distribute any comic books.
I feel like this is just DC basically saying like goodbye, old friend, and like shooting old Yeller, and then moving on to the new puppy that's going to last a lot longer. If it benefits them, sure. Like I honestly, I don't know much behind this. I didn't look into it or anything. If DC thinks this is what's best for them, sure.
For those of you listening and don't know, every comic book is distributed through a comic book company called Diamond Distribution. Diamond Distribution has exclusive contracts with everyone. DC this year decided to bail from their exclusive contract with Diamond and create 2 new distribution services in the United States and distribute solely through them. Everyone said that was breaking up monopoly. That's not how monopoly works. Diamond, Lunar and UCS did not distribute other comic books. It was just DC Comics. Now UCS is going to go under, and it's just going to be Lunar. And UCS is the one that was created by Midtown Comics, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It seems a little sketchy, but like again, like I don't know the business behind it. Like it could be like this was the plan all along. Like, hey, we're gonna do these 2 and see which one works out better. Like who knows?
Yeah. I just feel bad for the comic book distribution company that can't distribute comics.
Yeah, they're probably going under. I just wish more comics came out on Wednesdays. That's all.
Yeah. You guys like Marvel Unlimited?
I sure do, and I do more now. More.
Well,
this guy is definitely the. I would say. Part of me wants to say salesperson, but also, what's the other word I'm looking for?
Maybe it sells itself.
Yeah.
Marvel Unlimited. Ben, let me tell the news. Marvel Unlimited will now. So before this, Marvel Unlimited would have new comics out 6 months after they were released in stores. So the physical copy comes out 6 months later. They're on Marvel Unlimited.
Generally, when the trade is out, you can read it for free, quote unquote, on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah. Marvel Unlimited was a subscription service, but now it'll be 3 months.
I'm just showing it off. You can talk. I'm just showing it off.
Okay. Marvel Unlimited will now be 3 months. So when a comic book comes out this Wednesday, 3 months later, it's on Marvel Unlimited. So they shorten the time.
It's very interesting timing with Disney saying that they're going to try to they're going to focus more on streaming stuff. And then this news comes out where all the digital stuff is coming 3 months or earlier. This is monumental, you guys. For people who are on the fence about digital comics, even if you just can't read everything, $10 a month to read to read every Marvel comic that's almost ever been made, and 2, to read almost every new comic 3 months after it's come out. There simply is no better deal than that. I don't know if DC will follow. I wouldn't be shocked if they do. They don't need to. 6 months, I still think is pretty generous. But this news is insane, you guys. Like, Empire #1 is on this book, and I was reading that book a month ago. That's crazy. I think it's fantastic. This is gonna. I really hope this push sales because I was very, very staunchly anti-digital, and then they found a way, especially when you have like iPhones. Oh my flash is on for some reason. That's stupid. When you have like really crisp like technology that can like have digital comics look really good. The way that the digital comics like autofocus on certain panels and like tell the story even better than when doing page folding, because sometimes like when you're reading a book, stuff will get spoiled like before the page gets turned, like you just read it, and digital comics don't have that. Like it does it panel by panel. It's really cool.
For those of us, we're all Wednesday warriors. I don't see this doing any significant impact on retail stores at all. There's still people who are always going to want that book day of.
100%.
Yeah.
It just kind of helps people who don't have access to a comic book near them.
Well, yeah, if someone was on the fence, they would be like, "Oh, I don't want to wait 6 months." Now it's 3 months. It's like maybe I'll take a look at it.
It's also like if you're not close to a comic book store,
if you live in like rural Ohio and you need to drive 50 miles to go to your comic store. I personally, I'd probably do that like once every 2 weeks or something because I'm silly and I love comic books, but like. 2 months is not that long, and $10 to read everything, like that's insane. It's so good.
Which historian says, there have been independent virtual comics for years that are amazing quality. Indeed,
absolutely,
Speaking of comics, though, speaking of Marvel comics specifically, they announced a new comic book, actually a couple of Hulk comic books. That was not intentional. Immortal Hulk Flatline. We've all read Immortal Hulk. We all love Immortal Hulk. One of the best books that Marvel is putting out right now. There is going to be a new one-shot tie-in to the Immortal Hulk called Immortal Hulk Flatline, written and drawn by Declan Shalvey.
He's amazing.
The solicitation reads, every morning, Bruce Banner wakes up in a new place. The Hulk is trying to tell him something, but Bruce has had enough of his green-veined altar. When a new gamma-powered villain shows up in a small New Mexico town, Bruce is forced to confront the source of his anger, and it's nothing that fans will expect. It comes out in January.
January, cool.
Yeah. I love the Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, like Lemire did that one shot with Mike Del Mundo like last month.
Tom Taylor did a one shot.
Yeah, like a year or two ago. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, give me more. Give me more.
I feel really bad for whoever has to follow the Immortal Hulk.
Again, unless they get like a Lemire or something, like it's gonna be hard. You're gonna need you got to be a real good writer.
Maestro is also coming back. There's currently a Maestro origin comic. Maestro is another Hulk alter. For those of you who don't know, his future self. He is getting an origin comic from his creator, Peter David, right now, and it will be followed with a sequel comic, 5-issue mini called Maestro War and Pax, also written by Peter David, with artist by Javier Pina. I'm not going to read the solicitation, but it's like his origin story is done, and now he's going to take over the world.
Cool. I don't know why they didn't just make it like this is issue 6 through 10 of I don't know why they need two different miniseries with the same guy, but I guess that's probably,
I think probably you wanted to see how it sells well, if it sells well.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Hey man, I don't super care about Maestro right now specifically because we're dealing with so much good Hulk stuff. I don't really care about big, just boring. I'm old evil Hulk.
Speaking of the Hulk, the latest issue of Immortal Hulk has a letter at the end that said, "I'm so glad you brought back the Devil Hulk." And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" The Devil Hulk was apparently a creation from the early 2000s, and I got Marvel Unlimited to read that run because I've got I want to see his origin. Devil Hulk. I'm really interested right now in Hulk, specifically like where a lot of this stuff comes from, like the origins of some of these stories, some of these ideas that he's playing with in this book.
Yeah, a lot of it is specifically like the dad stuff is a lot of older stuff that a lot of writers I think were honestly too scared to tackle because it's really heavy. And Hulk for the most part is a big smashy boy. When really he can be as in depth as any other character, which we're getting right now.
Especially when they dive into more of his alters, like Joe Fixit or Savage Hulk or Scar.
Yeah.
Who is still knocking around in there in some way that I won't spoil for Ben, who has not read the latest issues.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Titan Comics is currently doing a Blade Runner comic book series. Ryan, are you reading that Blade Runner comic book series?
I bought the first issue and I didn't read it.
Okay. Well, they're coming out with another one called Blade Runner Origins.
Cool, I saved it. It was me, my one issue.
They're going to come out with another one called Blade Runner Origins, written by Mike Johnson, Kay Perkins, and Mello Brown. I don't know which one of them is the artist, or if the artist is even listed right now. That's all I had. That's all the information I had with creative team.
Okay.
This is about the origin of the Blade Runner division.
I think Mike Perkins is an artist. I think.
Okay. You mean Kay Perkins?
Oh, I thought I heard. So nope, never mind.
So this is set 10 years before the first Blade Runner, and it's about the origins of how that of why they decided to create the Blade Runner division. So
I will probably pick up this first issue. I'm definitely very more intrigued about the origins of why did we start hunting robot people? Because that seems awful.
There's actually a character that was debuted in one of the prequels to Blade Runner 2049 who is the main character of this comic.
Wait, they're in 2049?
Well, they're in one of the prequels to 2049. Remember, they had the 3 short film prequels?
Sorry, gotcha. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I forgot all about those. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just do in a couple weeks, just like a heavy. Let's just watch all the Blade Runner shit again.
Yeah,
because it's been a while.
I want to watch the prequels. I finally bought the Blu-ray for Blade Runner 2049, so I'm gonna watch the prequels soon. Good. Yeah. So his name is Detective Cal Moreau.
Yeah. Cool. Good job.
Anyway,
good job, Cal.
Well, guys, the Snyder Cut is the gift that keeps on giving. Just won't go away. Just keeps on trucking.
You know what? At least it's giving us interesting morsels. That's least
true.
That.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say we all know that Joe Manganiello was in the movie. He said that he filmed the whole sequence with Ben Affleck. And he said he filmed all of the scenes. Or I guess not, because he's coming back to do reshoots for the Snyder Cut.
See, I bet whatever scene they shot was literally like a cameo scene that was like a minute long. I doubt it was like an extended fight scene. So I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too.
This Joe Manganiello, he confirmed he's coming back for this. Whatever this movie is going to be, whatever this miniseries is going to be, sorry, it's 4 hours long. Whatever this was not what it was. No way.
Oh no.
This movie is not the movie that people were campaigning for.
True. And again, I'll have to respect it because I'm wondering if Zach is just like, man, hey, Joe, do you want to be in this? Hey, Jared Leto, you want, oh my God. Okay, yeah, baby. Like maybe it's like he gets to correct all the wrongs that he never, and maybe this movie will be, it's probably still going to be bad, but at least it'll be a Justice League epic.
But I mean, it just goes to show you it was never done.
Oh no,
he never had a finished cut of this movie. Jared Leto, as you said, Jared Leto also is coming back to reprise his role as the Joker for the Snyder Cut. Now, Jared Leto was not in the original cut of the Snyder Cut. No way, no script. Have we heard he was in the Snyder Cut?
This one seems less necessary, but I'm imagining this is probably dealing with some Batman, him killing Robin stuff.
Oh, so there's going to be a lot more Batman.
I heard. It's probably just rumors, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they're coming back, because they want to show him killing Robin.
Yeah, like a flashback or something.
Boy, yeah. I don't think I need to see that, Snyder. All right.
I don't need to see that either.
Yeah. Well,
the given reason why this is happening is because this is no longer the same movie that they worked on. However, Jeff Johns and John Berg have had their producer credits removed from the film. They stated, they stated that sources close to the two said they are having their names removed because they aren't working on their version and they are no longer Warner's execs. However, the flaw there is if you worked on any part of that movie, if it was in fact done, that is still that movie, and Jeff Johns and John Berg still have to pay for it, which means they should still have a credit.
Yeah.
So either this film is completely different than what they worked on, or someone told them to remove their names.
I bet you both.
Because as we know, there's a lot of controversy happening with them right now with Ray Fisher. Both of them have had their names, not tarnished if it's deserved, but they might not be good people. But so I think an executive told them, guys, we need your names off of these. Get them off.
I wouldn't be shocked if they were totally okay with that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jeff is still a co-writer on Wonder Woman, though. So Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's a co-writer. He's co-wrote the script with Patty Jenkins.
Alan Heinberg still?
As the writer, no.
Oh, okay. Because he did the first one, right?
We're talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Alan Heinberg wrote the first movie?
The first Wonder Woman movie? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns again.
I don't believe so.
Oh, well,
you go to the next story because I could just be making shit up. Hold on.
1984 is co-written by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns. That's what we know for sure, though. All right. Some miscellaneous. This is actually a lot. I just didn't have a place to put it, so it's kind of clumped together.
Alan Heinberg is the sole screenplay writer, and then other people did story credit.
Cool. There you go. We've heard a lot of rumors about this, but Warwick Davis is in fact returning to the role of Willow for a Disney Plus TV series that will be Lucasfilm's first TV series that is not Star Wars.
Man, he gets a whole ass series. Good for you.
Yeah. He's been campaigning to. He started Willow. Ron Howard directed it. They've been campaigning to get this series made for a while now, and Disney finally announced that yes, Disney Lucasfilm is going to go forward with it. Ron Howard, who I said is the director of the first film, will return as an executive producer,
which means nothing.
Which means nothing. John M. Chu, who is the director of Crazy Rich Asians, will be an executive producer, and he'll direct the pilot.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Jonathan Kasdan, son of Papa Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan. I forgot his name for a second. Who is the co-writer of Solo, Star Wars story, and Wendy Miracle, who is the showrunner for Arrow later on in the series, will be the executive producers, and they will serve as the showrunners. So yeah,
all right.
Willow's coming back, guys.
I mean, cool. Like nothing stays dead in the nostalgia world. I've seen Willow once, like 1,000 years ago. So people tell me it holds up on Twitter. So I'm sure I'll watch it when I see a trailer for this.
I haven't seen it at all.
Warwick Davis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it.
Val Kilmer, a young hot Val Kilmer. Not hot. No, never mind. Just Val Kilmer.
Not hot.
He's not hot in that one.
All right, Val Kilmer.
Like how hot is he? On a scale of
on a scale of the Batmans from George Clooney to Christian Bale to Michael Keaton, what are we looking at?
Not George Clooney is like definitely the number one. That is like Bruce Wayne personified.
Well, are we talking about like Top Gun hot Val Kilmer, or are we talking about that one movie with Denzel Washington?
See, he has some bad hair in.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Hello.
Because when I said not hot Val Kilmer, I'm like, I'm sorry, but
we should be talking about.
He's a good-looking man.
We should be talking about the Meg, guys. Remember the Meg?
Yeah, Sparks, where you at?
You mean that joke from Family Guy that's overdone?
No. The Meg, the giant shark movie based off the book that was awful.
Oh, you mean Jaws 5?
No, people. Oh, the movie that's awful. Yes.
I love the book's great. I like the book a lot. I read the book. The movie was not great. Well, however, Meg 2 is happening. It didn't make enough money on what's it called? Foreign releases, international releases. And Ben Wheatley has been hired to direct it.
Ben Wheatley.
So they got
that sounds familiar.
He's also doing the Tomb Raider 2.
Oh, what big movie did this Mr. Wheatley make that he's getting all the big movies now?
Free Fire, I want to say.
Oh, Free Fire and High Rise. Okay, cool. Sure.
Yeah. I like Free Fire.
Wasn't High Rise the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt where he's that tightrope walker?
No, that's a Robert Zemeckis movie.
Okay. And a bunch of sexy people doing murder things.
What did you say, Ryan?
Oh, High Rise is the Tom Hiddleston one. Bunch of sexy people doing murder things.
Yes.
Oh, I believe you.
Like Mag says, like Bryan Cranston asking Burt Reynolds or Sting hot. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right. So we're all excited about the Meg 2. I'm sure this will be not based on The Trench at all, which is the sequel book.
I mean, listen, like I guess if you get Jason Statham back, he's cool or whatever. Like that first movie's not like the worst thing ever, but like just I don't care.
But after reading the book, I'm very upset it doesn't go that way. That book's real good.
It definitely doesn't scare me away from the ocean like Jaws did back in the 70s.
It's not meant to be scary. It was supposed to be It's supposed to be fun.
I'm a megalodon.
It was
all right. Remember Power Rangers, guys? 2017's Power Rangers.
I love Power Rangers.
I always think about it.
Yeah, well, it's not getting a sequel. Jonathan Jonathan Entwistle, which is a great last name, who is the showrunner for the Netflix series I'm Not Okay With This, has been tapped to helm a new connected universe of Power Ranger movies and TV adaptations. He was originally going to be the writer of a Paramount film after they got the rights from after Spawn sold the rights to Hasbro. But now it'll be an interconnected thing. Will be this is the last bit of news on this one. It'll be a completely new universe of Power Ranger stories connected through TV and movies. So it's not connected to anything that has come before.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping they were gonna do a Force Awakens and somehow like get a bunch of new kids and then get the old cast, like, because that's what we want. Just make it happen. I guess this isn't gonna be it. I haven't really heard anything about the I'm Not Okay With This show. Like I've heard like middling things, like good and bad.
Yeah.
So like I can't, and I haven't seen it, so I can't judge. But hey, man, if they believe in this dude enough to give him a whole universe, get it.
I mean, this could be an Alex Kurtzman thing where they believed in him enough and it was awful.
Do we have Alex Kurtzman news, or was that last week?
That was last week, I think.
Alex Kurtzman news last week? I don't
He was hired to write and direct some movie. I don't know if we put it on the news.
This week? Did this happen this week? I didn't see this.
Okay, go to the next news. Let me look it up. I think I'm okay. That might be fascinating.
Are you talking about Simon Kinberg?
Oh yes.
This is the next thing.
The same person. You don't know.
Simon Kinberg, a writer director of Dark Phoenix, writer of a lot of the X-Men movies and Fantastic Four movies, and he's a Star Wars Rebels. We've talked about him before. He's a famous deflector. If the thing is good, it's his fault. If it's bad, it's not.
Don't you mean the thing is good? It's all him. If it's bad, it's not his fault.
That's
that's good. We said, yeah, I got you.
Right. So Simon Kinberg has been hired to write and produce the new Battlestar Galactica movie for Universal. Talk about falling up.
I mean, whatever. I mean,
Brandon, do you trust him enough with Battlestar Galactica? Because I know that's your favorite franchise, or one of your favorite. No, that's Stargate. It's one of your favorite things.
Why? Of course, I don't trust him with Battlestar. He's not smart enough. He's not smart enough to talk to Ron Moore.
That's all I need to know.
Oh, hold on. Let me show you something cool that I've never shown you. Ooh.
Oh, I didn't mean for him to disappear when I took a drink of water. That's going to sound great for the audio listeners that pause.
Of the original show.
Yeah.
And I have this big ass box collection of it.
Oh,
and I even does the sound.
Yeah, that's the original show.
Oh yeah. It's super cheesy, but I love it. And that I know we both like that sci-fi show a whole lot.
Does that come with Galactica 1980, the sequel show where they're on Earth?
Oh God. No, but it comes with over 3 hours of deleted and alternate scenes.
Wow. So the Battlestar Galactica series is really great. Both of the shows have been really good, I think. This is a bummer. Whatever.
I mean, you never know, but this with a track record like his,
yeah.
I was hoping for another good Battlestar Galactica, but I still got good Battlestar Galactica, so it's.
I mean, the last person attached to it was another X-Men alum, Bryan Singer.
You're right.
Battlestar alone, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
Speaking of leaving things alone, the Addams Family is coming back again. They're already back with animated films, but they're coming back with a new TV series from Tim Burton himself. He finally did it. Tim Burton finally got an Addams Family thing off the ground.
Da-da-da-da.
Tim Burton is TV, yeah.
TV too often.
He's going to executive produce the TV series. He's going to possibly direct them. He has not decided yet.
I wouldn't be shocked if he does the pilot to set the tone.
Yeah. Alfred Goh and Miles Miller, who were the creators of Smallville, are going to serve as the showrunners. And so far, it doesn't have a network, but Netflix seems very interested. That's what the trades say.
I'm actually okay with Tim Burton helming an Addams Family thing.
If there wasn't already an Addams Family thing out, I'd be more okay with it.
That's the thing, but as far as I can tell, nobody really likes that animated thing.
It was fine.
It was fine, yeah. But I don't want to live in a world of fun, and Tim Burton is more aesthetically the choice than not. I would personally love to see did they say it was live action?
They didn't specify, but I think it was implied.
Okay, I would hope so.
Yeah.
no offense to Smallville, but like the CW guys show running it. Like I hope it's not like CW. I hope it's more like fun.
The trade said this was the greatest Smallville. I'm like, sure they did them something since Smallville has been off the air. I forgot to look.
The problem is they probably have, but it's not as good as Smallville. So I mean, you never know.
It's Alcatraz. They did the Alcatraz TV series with Sam Neill.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
Is that good? What is that about?
Season, if my memory serves.
Is it about ghosts?
No, maybe.
Maybe you watched it.
I don't remember.
I just remember seeing that previous where I was saying, "Hey,
he did that. He did that after the sci-fi miniseries The Triangle, which I did see, where his twin gets lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I don't know what the TV show is.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, speaking of things coming back, I actually stumbled across this today, and if I may, I'd like to talk about it real quick, if that's all right with you.
Do it.
I don't care.
All right. Do it. Since I am nostalgia's bitch.
Wait, did you text Sparks?
I did text Sparks, yes.
Okay, good.
He wanted me to let him know once we're going into trailers.
We are. I told you. I told you that's when you want to text him.
Anyways, so do you guys know anything about a thing called the Atari VCS?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No.
So 2 years ago,
RS?
No.
Was there a VCQ?
All right, so the name VCS was the original name of the first Atari video game console.
Look, Ryan got the joke. I appreciate that. I'll let that fly over your head.
Ben, please tell us about your retro stuff. I want to hear it.
Well, 2 years ago, the news broke that Atari was coming back into the console market. And then there was absolutely nothing. And finally, they revealed the new console, which is they're calling it the Atari VCS. And it's coming.
I missed this completely. I apologize.
Yeah, I actually stumbled upon it today completely by accident by our friends at the Grand Geek Gathering. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
So apparently, the new console is essentially it's a digital only console with the PC interface in it, and it's coming out in November for a retail price of $389.
That's not bad.
The biggest get for this Atari console is that it includes every 2600 game ever made, or at least most of it. I don't know if it includes the licensed games like ET, because if it can include that, okay, cool. But the thing
didn't they bury every version of ET?
They
not everyone. Just all the ones they couldn't sell.
Yeah, and not just ET, other games that weren't selling as well thanks to the video game crash of 82 or 83, whatever. Yeah, 83. But the thing is that close to $400 for a thing that is for something that Atari is trying to push. Is like, hey, it has the classic Atari games. It's like, and also some other PC things. I did some research on it. I watched some videos. People are like, you're selling something that's gonna crash and burn the second it comes out.
Yeah, there's a new Xbox coming out for $400.
Yeah,
what's an Xbox?
Originally, they're like
Y-Cube.
Apparently, originally when they were trying to announce this, they were calling it the Atari box.
I appreciate you, Ryan.
Thank you. I mean, they could have just went like with the Atari 9000 or something, whatever. Like whatever.
They could have. I mean, the system itself looks cool. It comes with 2 controllers. It like the whole complete bundle comes with a classic Atari controller that's made for modern games, and Atari controller that looks exactly like an Xbox controller, but with a big Atari logo on it.
So PlayStation in the last Gamera movie.
Yeah, and it's coming out in November with the PS5. There's nothing coming up.
I don't think this is a winner.
No, not even close.
No.
Not even close.
All of these old school companies are like, they keep trying to come back with like either new hardware or different things, and it's like they all fail.
Well,
like, sometimes some things just need to stay dead. I'm sorry, Atari just makes software.
There's really just no there's no big games that are coming out with it. It's like, hey, you can play all the 2600 games. It's like, do you know how easy it is to play a 2600 game? I could go to Target right now, or okay, they're closed. I could go to Target tomorrow morning, buy the Atari Flashbacks Classics Volume 1 and 2 for $10.
There's a website that I showed you like months ago, and I'm looking at the tab right now. It's called retrogames.cz, and it has thousands and thousands of old school games you can play on your PC with a controller, without a controller. I don't need to spend $400 to play games from 4 years ago. Sorry.
And they're trying to they're also trying to market it as like it's a PC thing as well, but the specs just aren't the best. I don't
I have
know.
a PC, Atari.
All right.
Yeah. Just want to bring it up that Atari's like, you're doing the same shit you did back in the late 80s that put you in the ground the first time.
Ryan, you put this one in here.
I did.
The Evil Dead Rise, which is the next Evil Dead movie, was directed by Lee Cronin.
Yes.
Got some new details. Supposedly the film will take place in a high rise in the city and will feature a female heroine.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, he has a quote here that says, "I'm confident I'm going to do something that's both familiar and refreshing. I'm gonna deliver a roller coaster of horror. That's what the goal is here. Relentless, not stopping to explain too much. It needs to be extremely visceral, highly entertaining, properly scary, to push boundaries." That's important as well. So,
yeah, I immediately thought of because they talk about a high rise going up. I immediately thought of Quarantine/Wreck. I should have said Wreck first because Quarantine is a shot-by-shot American remake of a Spanish movie, and The Raid and Dread, which are both movies about escalating action going up. And I think that's just a dope premise in general. One of my favorite issues of Moon Knight is literally about going up a haunted place that keeps going up and up and up.
I remember that. I remember that issue. I read that one.
Just the idea of instead of the terror, you're trapped in a cabin and everything's around you. What if the horror just keeps getting worse and worse the more you go up? And I think that's just a really dope idea. And I'm not familiar with this guy's work, but Bruce Campbell is the person who announced this. So like I don't think he's in it, but I'm sure Sam Raimi will be an executive producer or whatever.
Both he and Raimi are executive producers. Campbell and
that makes
Raimi.
sense. I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I know. I think you are, Brandon. I know Sparks is. I would love to see that franchise continue in a new, interesting way.
I think Campbell has said goodbye to the character since Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the TV series.
You mean since Dead by Daylight?
Anyway, I always wanted to see him team up with the girl from the remake.
They teased it, man. Yeah.
That's too bad. All right, Fast and the Furious is ending with 11 movies. That's the next bit of news.
And I already got it. They already figured out what the final movie is going to be called. It's going to be Fast X Furious, because when you uncross the X, it's 11. And Fast X is not 10. It's Fast X Furious. It's also like Hunter x Hunter, the anime. That's why
Hold
they
on.
did it.
Fast. By the way, I think they're going to call it Fast X, the 10th film. I want them to call it Fast 10 Your Seatbelts.
Yeah,
that's the right thing to do. What's Fast 9 called again?
F9.
Okay. What if they just call it FX?
I think so. Man, what did they do with that?
FX. God, that'd be dope as hell.
But the main stories, the Dominic Toretto and Friends story will be ending with the 11th movie. So this is the first like major confirmation that the 11th movie is happening. And then I'm sure the Hobbs and Shaw thing is still going to keep going.
Yeah, they said this is ending the core series, and then we're going to have the anime, and then the Hobbs and Shaws, and the whatever else is, and the Bing Bongs.
Probably should have left that series about 7. I'm kind of considering right now.
Say that again?
I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should have bounced off after 7.
No, I still think those movies are exactly the amount of fun that they should be. Like they're not.
Well, 7 was the last one with Brian. And I've said this about 8 and a little bit with 7, but like definitely with 8, like the kind of like it kind of loses the heart for me without Brian. But whatever, they're fun action movies. Anyway. Speaking of fun action movies, Barney is coming back.
My favorite. I had a birthday party. At 4 years old, I had a Barney birthday party. That whole crew came to my apartment. Hell
yeah! Barney is coming back with Daniel Kaluuya. He's remember he's Get Out dude, Black Panther dude. He's in those. He's going to produce a new live action film. He had this quote which I thought was interesting. It's just this quote that I pulled out. Barney taught us, "I love you, you love me. Won't you say you love me too?" That's one of the first songs I remember. And what happens when that isn't true?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That got heavy.
You get the ice cream man.
Yeah.
I find it I find it not believable that the Barney company will allow them to make a rated R like killer Barney movie.
Like that Hanna-Barbera movie that came out that was just the Bears one.
The Bears one.
You remember they play Bears?
Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, not that one.
That movie hasn't happened yet.
Yes, it has.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, not the Five Nights. I'm not talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Brandon. Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
The only Hanna-Barbera bear
Talk about Barbie. Talk about Barbie.
Bears. The Country Time
not
Bears.
A real thing.
The Country Time Bears.
Killer Bear movie. Hannah.
Are you talking about the Country Bears from Disney?
No.
That's
just Yogi Bear killing people. I don't want that.
I don't think that's
from Hanna-Barbera. No, is Yogi Bear.
No,
I just hope it's not like it's like, oh, it's going to be called Blarney. I really hope it's actually Barney. I want it to be real ass purple Barney, and he's just like, yo, I'm murdering fools. Give me that lightsaber, Anakin.
There it is. The banana splits. That's the one.
I don't know what that is.
It's an old Hanna-Barbera thing about these like this band. Okay. The banana split game. Thanks, Mag. Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Are they wearing like goofy hats?
Yeah, it's like costumes, and they but when they adapted it for a movie, they made it into a horror movie.
Oh hell yeah, I want to watch that then. Yeah, I'm into this. I'm very into this.
I don't think this is gonna be a horror movie, but I do think it's gonna be a drama.
Yeah, I would much prefer
probably about Barney's impact on the Black community.
Oh man, as much as like that would be like beautiful and like poetic, I really hope it's like a Jordan Peele produced horror movie.
I was expecting like the dude who played Barney became a serial killer and killed people while wearing said Barney suit.
Exactly that too, or he's possessed and like Cthulhu is like using him as a bot. Like any of it, you could do any of it. I want it all. Just make
it. They get the T-Rex from Jurassic Park painted purple with green polka dots and just let it loose in the
street. Have that thing running through the streets.
it's like, and they named the dinosaur Barney.
Right. Anyway, The Bride. This is actually just called Bride. Sorry, I forgot about this. This is Bride, a new adaptation of The Bride of Frankenstein. Coming from Sebastian Lelio, who wrote and directed the remake of his own movie that he wrote and directed called Gloria Bell. That was with girl who plays Clarice Starling in Hannibal, not Jodie Foster, Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore. And you know how that feels when you're thinking of like an actor and you know them from a famous thing, but the only thing that comes to your mind is the obscure thing, and nobody can guess who the actor is because they don't know if they're in that movie.
Yes, but I know Hannibal and Julianne Moore.
Yeah, Hannibal and Julianne. That's the book sequel. Anyway, and then Disobedience, which was the lesbian Jewish movie with Rachel Weisz and no, I'm not gonna. Rachel McAdams. That is the movie with the spit. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, I didn't care for that movie that much. I liked Gloria Bell though. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson is going to executive produce and star in this genre-bending film from A24 and Apple. So this would be an Apple TV Plus original.
Ooh, but you said A24 too.
A24.
That's basically a seal of quality.
Yeah. The plot follows a woman created to be an ideal wife, the singular obsession of a brilliant entrepreneur. When she rejects her creator, she's forced to flee her confined existence, confronting a world that sees her as a monster. It is on the run that she finds her true identity, her surprising power, and the strength to remake herself as her own creation.
Sounds dope. That sounds dope as hell.
I still want that Bride of Frankenstein remake from Bill Condon in the Dark Universe. Anyway.
Yeah, that's as dead as Tom Cruise's Yelling the Mummy.
Yeah, seriously. Someone said on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook. That's the one. Whatever. Listen to my podcast where I talk about how Tom Cruise destroyed the Dark Universe. I was like, it wasn't Cruise, it was Kurtzman. Kurtzman tanked the Dark Universe.
No, Tom Cruise gives 100% in everything he does. Like that is not his fault in that movie.
I'm going to bet that Kurtzman was one who said, "Hey, yell like this" in that scene.
Did you guys see Mark Wahlberg's mustache? I sent you a picture.
Yeah, I saw Mark Wahlberg's mustache. It looks good.
So it looks dumb.
At least
it
doesn't look like a
doesn't
cat
look natural.
in his face.
What were you going to say, Brian?
Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right. Anyway, yeah. So Mark Wahlberg was like, "Hey, shut up about the mustache. Sully's got a mustache." I'm like, "The mustache isn't the problem with your casting, buddy."
Yeah, sorry.
When I think of grizzled, I definitely think of Marky Mark.
Oh, I'm trying to find someone. What, this is Uncharted over here? Like, get out of here.
Well, I'll be a son of a bitch.
Like,
What is Sully's line? We'll all be goddamned.
I'll be goddamn. I'll be a son of a bitch.
Man, I have all the Uncharted games on my PS4. I'm going to play those.
They're good. Hey, Nate. What's this voice I'm doing?
I don't know.
When I'm high, I can't do impressions.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, Nate. Jesus.
Like you're on dude, when you get high, you open up like the green door, but it's a green door to the hill.
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit. All right. Anyway, it sounds like Kermit doing a Mark Wahlberg impression. Anyway. Warped is a new Nickelodeon sitcom coming. Not sitcom. Probably a sitcom. It's going to be live action from Kevin Koplow and Heath Seyfert. Follows a character named Milo, who is the manager at a popular comic book store, not to mention the shop's head geek. However, Milo's world gets turned upside down when his boss hires a new employee named Ruby, who is described as loud and excitable. While the two are very different, they team up to create the next great superhero franchise. Guys seen The Big Bang?
The Big Bang Theory?
Yep.
No.
I'm a little worried. This kind of sounds okay, but I'm a little worried it's that.
See, yeah, like I've never.
Okay, so I feel since it's taking place in a comic shop and this is Nickelodeon, they're gonna lay off some of the jokes that Big Bang Theory kind of drove into the ground.
I've always said the problem with Big Bang Theory is that it got mean towards the end of the series. Towards the end of the series, it started to be mean to its audience, and I don't like that. I hope that's not this because this could be fun.
I don't know many shows, especially kid shows that that are like comic book featured. You know what I mean? Like it sounds dope. Like I hope this isn't like one of those things where like it makes fun of nerds. It doesn't make fun with nerds. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to have good jokes, not D&D's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I had a debate about the Big Bang Theory with Zara's parents. That was awful.
Oh, they love it, don't they?
Well, one of the things that they said to me, I hope they're not listening to this. One of the things that they said is that they can't understand why I said that I have a hard time liking a show if I don't connect to the characters. And they thought that was such a foreign idea of like connecting to characters and seeing yourself in characters and like things like that. I'm like, no, but that's how you get an emotional reaction.
That's what movies are about.
Yeah.
That's like, a whole other topic.
We watched to be entertained, and I'm like, yeah, I did too, but like I can connect to them on some level.
I guess, there's just a disconnect where it's like, it's a movie, and that's all. It's a movie. I'm like, okay.
And then they started making fun of me because I was like, yeah, I find Captain Kirk a relatable character because Captain Kirk's a human character. And they're like, oh yeah, you go get on your spaceship. Like, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's just a different thing of people in art. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Texas Sparks. All right, we're on trailers. Immortals Phoenix Rising had a story trailer. So we know what it's about. Phoenix is the character that you create. Has to go save the gods, bring the gods back their essence. And this trailer is being narrated by Prometheus talking to Zeus.
Yeah, a very, very wacky, fun narration. They've also released the first 20 minutes of the game. Like every video game plays. Like I didn't watch all of it, but I watched like the first 5 minutes. Man, that still looks really good. Looks like Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed put together. I wanna ride griffins and I want to beat up monsters and I love big boss battles. Looks
Fat Medusa.
Yeah, I love Fat Medusa. I love it.
It looks fun.
Marvel.
Ben?
You want to play this game?
I won't play it. I actually, one of the things of the trailer I liked was the back and forth between Zeus and Perseus, and at the very end,
it sounds really wacky.
Yeah, especially at the very end when Zeus is like, "Well, how's it end?" He's like, "You have to find out." I was like, "Dude, video games are gonna be created for another 2011 years." Come on, yeah, now.
I don't know if this is true, but it certainly sounds like they have an entire Greek voice cast.
Yeah, I was really digging. I was like, oh my god, these are all sound like Mediterraneans. I'm like, yeah. My Greek people.
No, I'm saying that's awesome that they hired an entire Mediterranean voice cast.
I don't know if that is true, or if people are doing voices, but if it is, that's cool. It sounded like it.
Rad.
Marvel Realm of Champions. Ryan, you wanted this one on here. I can see why.
It's just, man, one, Marvel's cool, obviously, but I love multiverse shit. This is their next mobile game. Most of the Marvel mobile games they're all mobile games the same, right? You play for free and you spend money. You play for a long time until you have to spend money or you can't really progress. That's how all games are. But like all the Marvel games I played for the first, 50, 100 hours as you just play like a little bit every day, I've really, really enjoyed. And this one, looks to be more fun, more combat from what I've read about it. You like choose what kind of faction, and there's like a lot of multiverse characters.
It's Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm. It's Secret Wars, yeah. And they even say like we're gonna have to have a secret war to blah blah blah. And I'm like, you got me.
I've always liked the CGI trailers for these mobile games. They look really cool because they have really cool designs for the characters. And this one they get to have a lot of fun. We go to Battle World, which is what we do in Secret Wars. But Madam Web is definitely Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. And these are all they seem to be original characters. Unless there's a version of Madam Web Gwen Stacy that I don't know about.
I haven't seen her. But the costume looked really cool. I'm a sucker for like I don't even want like a sweater. Just like give me a hood. Mm-hmm. Just a stupid hood that doesn't connect to anything. I love it. Like, why does Spider-Gwen have a hood? She shouldn't have a hood. She doesn't need a hood. But I love it. That
look is really sick. I really like the Doctor Strange Cyclops looking
with look. With the eye of Agamotto as his eye.
Wolverine. And again, they get great voice actors. Like Nolan North always plays Deadpool, and then Steve Bloom is Wolverine. He's the best. God.
And I love the adamantium on his skin with the swords. Yeah. Shuri as Black Panther, but Jane Foster is Thor.
Yeah. And who is it? Peggy. President Rogers is Peggy with an eye patch. It's just lots of fun multiverse stuff. The game does not look like this. Obviously, none of these games do, but they do put a lot of effort into their ads, and it's a nice 3-minute. Hey, look, Marvel stuff.
Now you got Apocalypse showing up as like in some Pharaoh regalia, which looked awesome.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Yeah, anything with Apocalypse, okay, cool.
No, quick side tangent. You know what this reminded me of a little bit? That Disney game that's coming out called, is it Mirrorverse? Yeah, Mirrorverse.
Yeah.
All the different redesigns of classic Disney characters. I might actually want to play Mirrorverse because those designs, like with Sully and Maleficent and Rapunzel, they look pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, Rapunzel's got like power armor. Yeah, like these games actually look very similar. I wouldn't be shocked that they're made like in tandem, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Christmas in the Square.
Yeah, this one's for you, Brandon.
It is for me. This is Dolly Parton's Netflix musical with Christine Baranski.
I'm not against Dolly, but I didn't. Oh, so it's another Scrooge thing.
We're not going to talk about it, but The Prom also had a trailer the same day, which is the new James Corden, Meryl Streep musical with Nicole Kidman.
The one that Ryan tweeted about, which
there's a bad musical. James Corden's in it.
Listen, I won't tweet it if it's not true, James.
So. Okay, the one thing I'll get, the one exception to that is Into the Woods, because I really liked Into the Woods.
I think Into the Woods is pretty good.
And James Corden's in Into the Woods, so he doesn't always pick bad musicals.
I'm biased because I saw it live, but that one's fine. That's a fine musical.
Okay.
The only live performance I saw was at my college, so you can imagine.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the live performance of Into the Woods at school too.
I think we went to the same one, Ben.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
We did.
I didn't know.
Mag says, Uncle Scrooge, best Scrooge. Yes, Uncle Scrooge is the best Scrooge, except my Batman Scrooge pop. Anyway, this is Christine Baranski's Scrooge story. It's a new musical. Dolly Parton wrote all the music for it. Whatever. I'll watch it. I like stupid Christmas movies. That's all I got left.
Dolly Parton is a true American icon and national treasure. She's a beautiful person inside and out. I have nothing against this. It's just definitely not for me.
Definitely.
It looks like it's like, oh, Christmas musical where someone who's mean finds the meaning of Christmas and finds their Maddie. That's neat.
But as a musical,
do
you know what's not a Christmas musical coming out at the same time?
Christmas Chronicles 2.
Man, I have a thing. I have a whole thing worked out.
You asked a question, I answered it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supposed to play along and say, no, what? And I say, The Christmas Chronicles Part 2.
Oh, is that the sequel of The Christmas Chronicles 1?
Yes.
Cool.
Both the Dolly Parton and Christy Baranski are American icons, which historian says that yes, they are. Christy Baranski does criminally does not do enough musicals because she's a great singer. Chicago, Mamma Mia. Anyway,
I know her from Mamma Mia. Mm.
She was in Chicago. She's the reporter.
Oh,
yeah. Christmas Chronicles 2. Still, it's Goldie Hawn this time coming back, reprising her short-lived role as Mrs. Claus, and Kurt Russell as Santa Claus with that beautiful, beautiful beard,
big bushy beard,
beautiful white hair. He does some jazz in this. It's the kid from Deadpool 2 and Hunt for the Wilder People.
That poor kid. He's like, I'm in Deadpool 2 and I'm a bad guy. Now I'm in this and I'm a bad guy.
I'm stealing the star of Christmas.
This looks cute. This looks cute.
Yeah, I think the first one is pretty cute. They are sold on Kurt Russell 100%. Like, if he's not in this movie, the movie doesn't work.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun as Santa Claus, and he's clearly having a blast.
I mean, he's hanging out with his wife. Like, I'm sure that's just the most fun. Yeah.
But he's not in the first one.
Kurt Russell's not?
No, Goldie Hawn isn't in the first one.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
She shows up at the end of that movie.
Now he gets to hang out with his wife and have fun.
Yeah. Looks cute. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Creep Show. We're not watching Creep Show, but I thought this was interesting because Ben, I'm sure you would have a lot to say about this. That the Creep Show is getting an animated special on Shudder with animated stories by Stephen King, your best friend, and Joe Hill, the person you're jealous of.
Both, man. That's the king. That's the king combo, as we call it.
Yeah. So father and son reunited. Oh, I almost said something really bad. Never mind.
It feels so good.
No.
So I can't tell if this is what the animation looks like. It kind of looks like a motion comic. It doesn't look like a traditional animated show, which is not a bad thing. You know, Shudder is it's a niche small horror service.
Yeah.
But like most motion comics, like they're not the greatest thing to look at. So like if you're presenting this as an animated show and it doesn't kind of look like an animated show, I think some people might be turned off. Yeah. Could still be good though.
It's got Kiefer Sutherland in it. He's gonna be a voice in it.
Yeah.
I had a thing about Shudder. I totally forgot. Creep Show, was it? I don't remember.
Creep Show. People seem to like that show. I just haven't watched it. Emma,
yeah.
Brian, I just saw Emma's tail at the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
It's me.
Do you want to come in? Shake your head, yes or no.
Okay. We know he's here now.
There he is, Sparks.
Hi guys.
Hey. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, I heard some Stephen King, Joe Hill talk, and nobody made a King of the Hill joke, and I had to step in.
Were you the fourth person watching?
I'm sure I was. Yeah, only in these last couple moments. I know you guys got to do a lot of news without me. I'm sure there was some fun stuff, some Leto downs.
I love it. I missed you.
You're just in time to talk about the Mandalorian special look. Special look, guys! Everyone was so excited. What are they gonna show us? The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
This is the Mandalorian.
What did they show us?
It's the Mandalorian.
It's a trailer.
It looks like more of that show. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yes, let me watch it.
There was so much hype around it. It was really funny watching the hype around it. Like, oh my god, they wouldn't do this unless they're gonna show us Ahsoka. They're gonna show us Sabine. No, there's nothing. It was the 30-second nothing.
Out of articles were like, is this the trailer where we see Sabine? 5 reasons Sabine's gonna be in this trailer. I'm like,
that's clickbait if I ever heard of it.
Did you see the thing I posted today? CBR had a thing like, WandaVision would be the perfect place to introduce the X-Men, and I just posted a GIF of Sylvester banging his head on the thing, just like, stop with this bullshit.
Just be glad that we don't do that. That we're not because I know my soul couldn't handle it if I had to be write 300 clickbait articles a week. Oh
yeah. I think there's a reason why I didn't get hired with them. Anyway, this looked really. So the rest are actually mostly Netflix stuff. Auntie Donna's Big House of Fun. I hope you guys watched the trailer for this one.
I did.
Yeah, this looks hilarious.
This looks so good.
Yeah, it's like it's a sketch comedy group, and they were given a movie, and it looks like the movie is them trying to make a movie, and they're failing at it.
Yeah,
it looks. I don't know anything about these guys, but like I'm gonna look them up.
They are an Australian group. They do live shows. They do some podcasts. They're really funny. I've listened to a couple of their stuff. But this is so when the word bubble is like, it's okay, man. It's like, well, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that?
Yeah, and also when they're doing the like the special guests, they're just like jumping through a whole bunch of people, like
Abraham Lincoln.
But the purple puppet you see for a hot second, I know that puppet. That's the Australian comedian known as Randy Feltface that I mentioned to you guys a while ago. Yeah, I've listened to his specials a few times, and I'm actually like, I know that dude.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm really excited.
Like Wise Kids, feels like this seems to him like good comedy.
Yeah,
yeah, I like the look of it.
Yeah, I want to watch it. It looks.
But the Queen of England is clearly not the Queen of England.
No, isn't she from Doctor Who?
Oh, is that Martha from Doctor Who? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Ed Helms is producing this, and he's also in it.
We need to go back on the rails because it's off the rail.
I like the opening joke when they're just like, "Dude, are you okay? You're really low res." It's like, "Yeah, I've got bad internet at my house," and it's like, "You think it's gonna answer?" "Oh yeah."
He freezes and
just like. Right. Anyway, it's the Animaniacs got a proper trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What can we really expect from Hulu's revival of the Animaniacs?
It looks like Animaniacs.
It looks like Animaniacs with a lot of jokes that we missed in past 20 some years, but some of the stuff I did see from this trailer actually got me really excited for it. I really want to see the sketch.
I do like some of the jokes. Here.
I really am looking forward to the sketch where they're animeized.
Yeah,
that
I was like, ooh.
I want to know how you guys read this one because I actually really like the joke. It's like, turn on the black light.
Oh, the rainbow.
Nothing wrong here. I really like that joke.
I do too.
Yeah, I thought for the most part this was funny. I honestly, of all the Animaniacs, like I was a huge Pinky and the Brain fan because it's like a couple dudes want to take over the Earth and like they're still trying to do that, and like it's 2020, so now we're catfishing. I'm like, yeah, that seems in line. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot funnier watching it in context and stuff.
It was low hanging fruit, but I did chuckle at that. I'm just keep getting catfish, and it's just a catfish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of for kids, right? Like it's
yeah. Also, I kind of like how Yakko and Waka are trying to talk, and then Dot's supposed to try to say something, and then she just like bonks him on the head. It's like
because it's like it's got to be something. We gotta be careful what our first words are going to be with the new season.
Our first lines.
Our first lines. Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Also, I love the opening where they're all wearing Hulu stuff, and they're like, "Here's your check, you sellouts."
Yeah. Not afraid to punch themselves in the face. Mink. This new trailer.
I'm super stoked for this because like I really really like old school black and white period movies. Like when they're like The Artist and just like there's a Coen brothers movie with Billy Bob Thornton, the man who lives in the shadows or something. I really love a good black and white movie. It's star studded. It's about an interesting time in Hollywood. I don't know the story of the creation of Rosebud. Citizen Kane, thank you. It's the writer of Citizen Kane, and like in Mankiewicz going crazy writing this movie. I'm into it, and I also just watched a Gary Oldman movie like today, so I'm like just jonesing for more Oldman.
Yeah, I was
jonesing for more Gary
Oldman. Yeah,
that joke would have been better if I nailed that.
It's okay.
No, I was interested before. I'm 100% interested now. I can't wait to watch this. I'm probably gonna watch it the opening weekend because this looks really interesting. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to select theaters. By the way, so is Christmas Chronicle. Christmas Chronicle is going to select theaters.
That's
awesome. Guys, drive-ins are still an option.
They are.
Yes,
they are.
Okay. Chadwick Boseman's final film. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. This seems like it's his final film, but I want to say he does have 2 projects on IMDb listed as not out yet. I don't know if he got a chance to film those, especially the movie where he's the samurai. But so he could have another movie coming that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah. This is based on a true story because I looked it up because I didn't know anything about her. But Ma Rainey is like the queen of jazz, like in like the 20s, 30s and stuff, and like the struggles that she went through. And I think Chadwick Boseman's character is made up, but Viola Davis, that's a real character, not Viola Davis, the actress, Ma Rainey. But yeah, this looks dope as hell. It is unfortunate when you see an actor who's passed in movies unreleased. It's always weird.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Looks good though. I'm excited.
Is this Netflix?
Yeah, this is Netflix. Yeah. And then we finally got a first look at Raya and the Last Dragon. I think this looks pretty good.
I thought this looked awesome, you guys.
So
it was really interesting because they showed none, like maybe a shot from what they showed at D23.
Really?
So like tip of the iceberg. I can tell you, tip of the iceberg.
Ever since you told us about your D23 trip where you saw this, I've been really excited for it. I'm really stoked for this. Can't wait.
Yeah, I think the music specifically was really, really good.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very, very excited whenever this eventually comes out.
Got a cute little armadillo mole.
Yeah. So okay. So is the giant armadillo? Is that so?
He grew up.
So yes. Is this a time jump thing where we're going to see her get older, or does he have the ability to transform?
Well, I think what we saw in the beginning is a prelude to the film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to grow up.
Yeah. Like she said that she was she was trained to become the guardian of the Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that was her finding that mask dude. I'm guessing the dude in the mask is her dad. And after she beats him or proves her worth, then she becomes the guardian, and now something's going on. She has to find the dragon to save the world.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I mean,
that's it.
I'm looking forward to it. The fight scene looked really good. So
yeah, animation looks great as always. All right, that's it then. No more trailers. Wow, that took us an hour too. Yeah, no more trailers. We're done. Spoiler alert for the original Candyman, 1992's The Candyman. If you haven't seen it yet, we're gonna spoil it.
Go watch it.
This is my first time watching this movie.
Me too.
Mine too.
Sparks, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so Sparks, you've seen it before. The three of us have not. I didn't know what to expect because of that. I was a little surprised by what I saw.
Being a horror fan, much like with popular movies, like a lot of the cultural osmosis of like, I've watched a lot of scenes from it, but again, I've never seen it in order. But there are certain aspects of the movie I didn't know about that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my thoughts right now. I liked this movie a lot. I liked it more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a movie, maybe a 90s movie that doesn't hold up as well, but I actually think it holds up very well.
Yeah, I think so too. I only had an issue with I don't think it's made extremely clear why Candyman just doesn't kill Helen right away. Because in the movie, she's the only one who says Candyman 5 times in the mirror and doesn't immediately die.
Right. I can give you a maybe story reason when we get there, but like it's not a good one. But
if I had a negative, because I did also really like this movie, it's not made extremely clear why she's the only one who's immune to the, if I say it 5 times in the mirror, I die. Exactly, it's plot armor. Also, spoilers, so here's the end of the movie. I think it's really funny that she becomes the new Candyman at the end. Which you say Helen 5 times in the mirror and she comes and kills you.
Gotta be honest. Yeah. The killing itself is scary, but just saying Helen, not as scary.
Not as scary as Candyman.
It's not as creepy as saying Candyman, but I do like how she got her revenge on her husband in a way. Because I kind of called it that the husband was cheating on his wife. Like the second we see Stacy and she turns.
Oh yeah, that's not.
I was like,
that is not hard to figure out.
No, that's definitely not hard to figure out. I really enjoyed it.
So Helen shows up in the apartment and she just immediately starts crying. The girl. I'm just like, why are you crying all of a sudden? She's just like, get out of my house.
I had a good time. I didn't find this movie to be like super scary. I don't know, probably because
it's pretty much a mood piece, right?
Yeah, I feel now there were some parts that were creepy, but this isn't a slam the film, but I felt that things were going to happen. I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen next. This is, she's going to be framed for murder. Oh, there it is. I could see, like, I felt like I was 2 steps ahead of the movie, but even as it went to the path that I did see, I still enjoyed it. I still how things transpired.
Did you feel like you were 2 steps ahead of the movie the whole time? Because I have a hard time
not
imagining you believing, like, oh, she sees him now in the parking garage. In a moment, she's going to wake up covered in blood in that one girl's apartment with a severed dog head and the baby missing.
Okay, like when she's in the apartment, when she wakes up in the apartment, thinking, oh, she's going to get framed for murder.
Sure.
And then, man,
I don't know where my head was at then, because when I saw that happen, I was like, is she like dead and now she has to go through the rest of the movie in the afterlife? Like, what's happening?
No, but one of the things that I did like that did throw me off was when she's in the doctor's office and she looks in the mirror, because I was expecting nothing to happen. But then when the doctor gets stabbed, it's like, oh, so this
Tony Todd. Tony Todd is so good in this movie. When he's in the parking lot, he's got such a cool presence in that moment.
Yeah.
I do really like Helen's response though, when he just goes, Helen, and she just goes, yes. I was just like,
Helen, where are you?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, but yeah, I think Tony Todd's incredible in this movie.
Yeah, he does have a presence, and I love it.
What about you, Sparks?
Yeah, I really like this movie a lot, and most of the reason is because of both like atmospheric setting and Tony Todd. I was never a big fan, and I'm still not a big fan of Helen. And it's not just the actress. I don't really like the character a lot. She's not someone who I feel really, really bad for most of the time, outside of man, it sure sucks that that folklore thing you summoned is now putting you in a room where you look like a murderer. I guess that sucks. Oh, and your husband's cheating on you too. But she's so and you know what? This is the part of the movie that really doesn't age well. She is so insensitive about where she's going when she's investigating, the culture she's entering into, the history she's entering into, that you're kind of yeah, I mean, a lot of white privilege going in there. I kind of feel like you had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I will say one aspect, I 100% agree with that. I think the thing about it is, though, she is going out there to discredit black harm and things that happen to black people. So whether it's Candyman or oppression or systemic racism, whatever, she's out there to say, oh, it's this. Let me explain to you why this didn't happen to you. So while I don't even. She is obviously the main character and the protagonist, but in a way, she is kind of an antagonist to all of these people who are getting murdered by the spirit, because she's there to say, yo, this spirit isn't real. Let me show you. And that's kind of messed up.
So I think the most prominent things that have really aged poorly about Candyman, a lot of people pointed out, is that you're exactly right. And that is a cool thing about what her character is trying to do. The execution of it is not great. Both on the part of the way Helen behaves about in doing it is not good, but also that Helen is there to the reason why she isn't killed by Candyman is to perpetuate the fact that Helen is the same woman that he fell in love with when he was killed. She is still after that same white woman. And the thing is that why people don't like that so much is because it makes it still about, even though they're creating a black horror icon and they are kind of bringing attention to racist oppression causing the systems where they are in gangs or kill each other, and that's something the movie's trying to touch on. At the same time, this is still a white team making this movie, and it's still perpetuating the same systematic idea of black monster attacks white woman that King Kong did, and that's why it doesn't age so well, and especially it all still turning out to actually have always been about Helen is the other part that just makes that, like, why can't Candyman be a thing in his own right?
I agree. Like I almost wish that the whole like his origin is fine, like or whatever, but like I wish the Helen aspect of it was gone, because the idea of this lady trying to disprove you so you use her to help murder other people, I like that idea a lot. But yeah, all the stuff with him, like, oh, actually I'm using you because I'm actually in love with you and you're gonna be mine, and like that kind of negates all the stuff that was building up to.
When
he has a baby that he stole and is leveraging against Helen. Interestingly enough, Yahya Abdul Mateen, the third, he is playing that baby.
Right. Yeah. If you look at
Candyman movie,
if you look at the credits, they have the same last names.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
That is very cool. That is very cool. Which makes me wonder: is Virginia Madsen going to be in the new movie?
No, God, no.
No.
I think that there's just a really valid, like, I don't have a problem with like him having this. I like the angle of Candyman where he's like, I'm gonna take you and make you immortal. You're gonna be mine, my love, my sweet. As though Candyman is trapped in this moment of when he was killed, what he felt for a person. Like, he was punished for love. He still has that. It's very Emotep in a way. Yeah. I don't mind that aspect, but the fact that literally Helen is supposed to be a reincarnation of her, that's what they want to hit on, rather than it just being like him picking a woman who he feels that way about. And even like, I wouldn't have had a problem if he did it repeatedly, like that there was a history of him, like when it's a woman who's done it, he kind of approaches it that way. It's more fucked up and him trying to seduce them into immortality, and they always refuse him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could have been another cool. Yeah, again, this is written and directed by the same white dude, based off a Clive Barker short story. Right. So I will, to give it, I guess, quote unquote, some credit for it being made by a white dude. I thought it could be a lot worse compared to like some stuff we get today. Like I am. Sorry, yeah.
100. No. I agree with you 100% on that. Most of what I was focusing on there was to emphasize like why, even like in the first brush, Helen doesn't work for me, is because she feels like she's designed to fill that eventual role of I am the white woman from the past. And because of that, she's not given a lot to actually have as a growth arc that doesn't exist outside of that bubble.
The other thing, I think if I may elaborate on something that I feel negative towards this movie. I think the rules for him aren't entirely clear, because he's killed at the end of this. He's burned to a crisp and charred, and she becomes like. I wasn't sure if he was like a real. I knew he was a real person, but how is a spirit physically able? Like physically there. I think they didn't quite make it clear how he was able to be a physical person.
He
sleeps. There's a scene where he's asleep.
Yeah. So my question is like the place where he ends up dying, that like makeshift fort or whatever, is that like some type of place of power that like is part of the lore that we don't know about, or
I don't know,
or just the rules unexplored?
So I've never watched the two sequels that exist. Yeah. But my understanding of it is that everything that happens physically with Candyman is because Candyman lets it. Like think like the same kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street rules. Like in the original, she pulls him out and sets him on fire, and it looks like he burns to death on top of her mom, and that's the end of the story. But it turns out that she still, like, all of that was still related to his power of the dream world and that kind of thing. And I mean, like, that movie still ends that kind of clear, but it's the same concept, is that like he only lets you see the physical things that he wants you to see. He ultimately has complete control once he's got that latch into you. So like, right. Yeah, we saw him sleeping because he wanted Helen to see him sleeping.
But he's not. But that's not clear in this movie.
For sure, I'm not saying it's well executed. I'm just saying that that's my understanding of how his power set works. Is that you only see it because he wants you. He wanted a little boy to see his body.
Right.
Yeah. Like that would be the logic.
You want to say that? No, you want to say it that way?
He wanted the little boy to see his charred body in the burning remains.
Okay.
Like that's the only way that it happens, is if Candyman wants it to be happening.
Right. But just taking this movie at face value, if that is the case, then why didn't he And why does he want that? Because he wants to continue existing as a rumor, as a myth.
For sure, that's a fantastic question. I'm merely explaining that this seems to be how his powers work, at least in regards to them explaining his presence for sequels.
Right.
It is not me saying, oh, that's what they were thinking when they made it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. You're right. They don't explain. Like, I don't understand why he can teleport wherever he wants around Helen, but he has to stay trapped in the burning fortress.
Yeah.
That is weird. Maybe my final thought on this one, because like it's kind of like a Santa Claus thing where like people have to like believe in him in a way. Maybe if because like he is being burned by all these people, the belief of all these people will help bring him back, and he knows that.
I think that's a reasonable explanation could be gleaned from there if you spend a lot of thought on it. Like, you know, they don't believe in him anymore, so that's how he is able to die because he's depowered. That's why he's asleep. That's why. So you can go there. It's just the movie doesn't explore it well for it to be text. You gotta dig and create your own.
Yeah.
It's just a flaw I think the movie has, but otherwise I think the movie's really good.
Yeah, I think honestly, the score is insane, guys.
I love the score. I love the score.
Looking up stuff for this movie, like one of the reasons it is so beloved because like it has like a score, like no offense to the movie, but like a score that's almost better than the movie because like it's like Philip Glass. There's some like it's like career making work, man. Like this is listening to this movie is insane. It's so beautiful. It matches so well with some of like the painting shots too of the Candyman stuff.
Yeah. Philip Glass does fantastic work. It really is Philip Glass and Tony Todd that gained the movie the cult status it has. I think if you made the same movie and it wasn't a black actor at all, because it's not like Tony Todd's doing a great job, but it's also just a big deal that it was the first like black killer in a horror film, like very, very explicitly like major black character based horror film, former slave, all that kind of jazz. If you take that away, I don't think Candyman's as special. If it were exactly the same movie with a white guy being Candyman, I don't think it matters anywhere near as much. And don't have Philip Glass's score. I think it gets forgotten pretty quickly. I agree. You have the fantastic physical practical effects with Tony Todd having bees in his mouth.
Did you hear the trivia that he negotiated $1,000 for every bee sting? He was stung 23 times.
Yeah.
Oh. That's a good deal.
Yeah, man. That's some
for
real
that shot, good deal.
Yeah. And like Virginia Madsen, I'm sure had to. She might have skipped the claws, but she got some bee shit too. But yeah, like before CGI, like yo, we need a bunch of bees. You got to do it. Really spooky, and like the rib cage full of bees. Like that's
the bees were apparently bred specifically for this movie because they needed to be. I think it was like 15 months old, so they would look like an adult bee but not have a poisonous stinger yet.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Yeah.
So they bred them like specifically for this movie.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Right. Yeah, they had to be very, very practical, careful with it.
Yeah, because a lot of bees, because when I saw that scene with the bees in his mouth, I'm like, that can't be a real him. That can't be the real actor, because I don't think I would want to do that. I'm like,
budget.
There's I think it's 4 shots, not necessarily like different takes, but 4 shots that are close-ups of his mouth with the bees in it, and one of them is from the take they did that's like with a fake prosthetic head where his eyes are shut, and it's like recreated to look like Tony Todd really well, but the other 3 are all actually Tony Todd.
Yeah.
And one of them you almost think it isn't, and then his eyes blink and you're like, no, that's him.
Yeah, that's what I do, and I'm like, man, thank God for that.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he's probably gonna tell his grandkids, he's like, hey, so I was in this movie and I had a bunch of bees in my mouth. Like, what?
Yeah, man, he's definitely in probably this new one, so like they could see it for themselves.
He is. They've explained that he is in this new one.
It's a really great, like, kind of a side note real quick, like there's a fantastic documentary called Horror Noir, which was put out I think last year. It's a Shudder original documentary, so it's usually on Shudder's streaming service only. However, this month, because it's October, I just found this out, or I would have brought it up earlier in the month. It's on Amazon Prime. And it's a little over an hour, and it's conversations with people like Keith David, who was in The Thing, and his progression through horror. Horror Noir.
It's like Black Noir.
Yeah, because it's saying it's using noir to mean black because it's black horror. It's about black horror.
Oh yeah, got it. It's spelled cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So horror noir, and it's all black actors and film creators and all film. I want to say studyists, but I mean professors. Film professors discussing the impact of like how black horror films move through time, and there's a whole section where they talk with Tony Todd. It's immediately following where they talk about the black actor in Night of the Living Dead and how that changed everything. And then Tony Todd was like the next big staple that changed things for black people in horror. And Blackula, all three of those kind of one after the other. Really, really just worth your time. But yeah, Candyman is it's really special because of those things. And there are glimpses in the movie, I think, in other moments where it's also pretty got that same quality where you're not relying on Philip Glass, you're not relying on Tony Todd, but you're relying on something else. But I do think its strengths lie in like Tony Todd, both because of the power of his voice, but what they do with it. When he's first is calling out to Helen, you're like, oh, like the way that sounds. When we watched it here, we're watching it in my parents' like movie watching room, so it's got the surround speaker system in it, and it's just Helen like everywhere. And I'm like, oh no, you did.
Real quickly, Tony Todd was in the remake of Night of the Living Dead in the 1990s.
Yeah,
I saw that movie. I don't remember it though.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway. Candyman. I think Candyman for the most part is pretty good. I kind of wish they didn't make the white lady like the killer at the end. You know, that's taking away from Candyman a little bit. But I get the story reasons, but I just don't think I think it could have been a more affecting way to do something different. I think
Ted Raimi is in this movie.
Yeah,
yes,
he is.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Playing a bad boy.
Yeah,
Mr. Bad Boy Ted Raimi. It's very interesting because like, in the context of the film, the opening doesn't really make sense other than establishing the folklore. Like honestly,
not at all.
Like,
not at all.
I wish they didn't show Tony Todd in that glimpse. I wish that wasn't the first time you saw him, both because I'd rather you not see him, and I also prefer the idea that isn't real, that story never happened.
It's an urban legend.
Right, because it should be part of the urban legend, because like everything else about what you learn about where Candyman attacks is like, why would he be out in that fucking area? It has nothing to correlate to the rest of the story.
It's just like the serial killer slasher cameo at the beginning, but like it wasn't needed here.
Right.
That's a really good point. If that moment doesn't happen, or is it just told to us instead of seen?
Yeah.
Then my problems with the lore of this movie are erased, because then there's no hard rules for what this character does at first.
Right. Like it would fall into the implication that like the Candyman lore isn't 100% accurate to what Candyman actually is. That they don't actually understand Candyman, which is even better, because like you could go hard into a message of how a lot of white people who are telling the story don't totally understand it. And again, like I think you could keep that entire opening scene the same. Just don't actually show us Tony Todd, because that kind of tries to tell us that it is the real Candyman. If you don't show us Tony Todd, it's not real.
It's all about again this urban legend and this lady saying like, oh, I can disprove it. So like, don't show it so we can build disbelief with her. So when it actually happens, we all see it at the same time. And that's like building a character.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie, but before now. But I always had a hard rule: never say anything, never say any of those names in the mirror ever. Not even once. Don't ever do it. I've never done it. So if I have stopped saying his name, it is because I'm concerned that the rules will consider the same mirror, and I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Right. Another part of it that like it's frustrating when you watch it, I think, and I know it's frustrating for a lot of other people, is having Helen have Bernadette at her side through all this in the first half of the film, and Bernadette is like a kind of ultimately a thankless character. She's criticized for her own knowledge of the area that they're going into by Helen while she is black. And it's like,
sure.
Wait, you know, it like this whole perspective of kind of like Whitey knows better. And
there's a shot where they're looking at the two newspapers of the buildings. And it's like, what do you see about these two buildings? And I was like, and she like scolds her for not guessing that the same building. I was like, they don't look anything alike.
Yeah. yeah, Bernadette's kind of done dirty throughout the film, and it's especially frustrating because you feel like if she hadn't had to be murdered in that one scene, she could have been the person who's like telling the story, writing the article at the end.
Yeah.
Like it could have been her talking about this stuff and what happened to her friend Helen and like writing about Candyman. And that kind of would have been a sense of justice. But instead you get this really, I get it. And thematically it's kind of poetic, but you get this really uncomfortable long march of black people for this white lady who, as far as everyone knows, is a murderer who stole a baby and then decided to do the right thing and return the baby. Like,
Exactly.
yes, I understand in context the black people are saying, well, she killed Candyman. She did it. But it's kind of gross in like a step back and look at the large scale analysis of it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so excited for 2021 Candyman.
Yeah, for Nia DaCosta's work, I think we'll do a lot for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it comes out soon. I was going to say
in 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay, is that it? Is that everything?
Just every time Tony Todd appears, his presence is fantastic.
Sorry, I remember my point. If you don't mind, I remember that in this movie, he's not. They said he was a painter from across the sea. I think they said London. He was a painter, and he fell in love with this woman that he was supposed to paint. And then I read the description of the third one, and it's like they're dealing with the fact that he was a slave. I was like, I don't think he was in the first movie.
His father was.
Because
he's the son of a slave.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when you get that big exposition dump, this is one tiny little thing that I had is like, why did they call him Candyman if he had absolutely nothing to do with candy? Like the only reference to candy in this entire movie was the candy wrappers that had razor blades in them. Nothing else.
Well, yeah, you're right. The people call them sweets.
I don't know.
Why is it?
He was slathered in honey, and the bees got him. So, like, maybe.
There you go. There you go.
That's not. Well, is honey considered candy back?
It could have been. It could have been in the 1820s.
I think the more direct answer to that, Ben, is that Candyman is his moniker now, not the moniker they gave him to when they gave to him like around the time of his death or anything, you know?
He's just the spirit that exists in this area because he died in this area.
Sweets and candy meant different things in the 80s, especially within like black circles. So it's kind of implied that, like, again, it's kind of meant to be like that was their name for him and you don't understand.
Okay.
Apparently, because this is based off a novel, even though it's changed from being about different classes in England to political strife in America, like kind of similar, but different. They call him the Candyman because the urbanites of the city left him candy as an offering near the ruined buildings where they think he used to dwell. But that's not in this movie at all. So,
well, they do. It is at least in the graffiti, like the sweets for the sweet.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very prominent. Like that, he is the sweet. And I do think like the implication is that the candy that's left with the razor blades, those were things left trying to kill the Candyman.
Okay.
Because Candyman means something different in that building than Candyman means to the people who like are afraid to say his name in the mirror.
Yeah.
Those and again, like this is going back to like I just don't think the film presents that information well enough because frankly I don't think that the white people behind it did enough work to culturally do that.
Guys, I don't think I expressed on you how deep my superstition for this sort of thing goes. I won't even sing the song.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Not that one.
Oh.
I won't even sing the Seaman song.
Candyman. Technically the digital devices we're using are almost like a mirror, and we've said Candyman a bunch of times.
I haven't. I said it 3 times and I stopped.
Yeah.
that didn't save Bernadette.
Okay, so when you edit this and Now, is it 20? Is it 5 times in the same day in the same session? Because what if you immediately start editing this video and listen to yourself saying Candyman again? Does the past count? Brandon, how does this work? What are the rules?
Well, we know that I cannot edit this episode anymore.
Then you're fine.
If we're being really technical, I'm saying this is technically not a mirror because it's not a mirror image. Like, look at my Dodgers thing. You could read that. If this was a mirror, it'd be backwards.
Oh,
I'm still not gonna risk it.
Because they say if you say it in a mirror, and this is not a mirror image.
Okay, but I mean, Ben, reach to your right. That's my left.
That was good. That was good. Anyway, that's Candyman.
Crap!
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh, you
say it again. Yeah, I'm really glad you guys got something out of this. I do think that there's, I almost think like the hardest thing about Candyman is that like it's not that like the stuff that isn't done well. And again, like I think her husband is actually pretty well handled in this. I think as a performer, Berkeley? Yeah, I think as a performer and his presence overall is executed pretty well throughout the film. I just don't think Helen's stuff in between is done super great. Also, we need to talk about the pretentious professor at dinner with the long hair. That guy's in the second one, apparently.
I feel bad because I mistook him for Stephen Fry, and then afterwards, like, nah.
I did too.
You did too? You're not? Oh, yes, I'm not the only one. Because when we first got that scene, I'm like, holy crap, that's Stephen Fry. And then fans like, who? Like, he was in
so pretentious. Oh my god.
So, it also bothers me that in that same moment, they're talking about how they're going to write a story about Candyman that will blow his out of the water. And he's like, do you know the story of Candyman? And Helen's just like,
shit.
And he's like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, at that point, I have to agree. I'm like, you're a graduate student working on this big article and you don't know like the story of Candyman?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry. He's going to wax poetic and just talk about it for 5 minutes.
Don't worry. He's going to mansplain it to you, but he shouldn't have to. You should have done the work.
Yeah.
That's an irritating way to like insert that exposition there.
All right. So that's the movie.
Tony Todd's awesome. I think now you guys, having heard his voice in this, can all agree like he should have been the voice of Dormammu like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know. You know where I've seen him a lot in is as a Klingon in Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, and then as a different species. I forgot their name now, but in Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Double duty.
Yeah.
Both with heavy prosthetic makeup. It's cool.
I do think like there's a lot of solid stuff here. All the effects with him are really, really well done.
He's the Fallen in Transformers.
Yes, he is.
I also think the painting scene of when she's walking through the building and she comes through his mouth the first time, and then that image haunts her. I think that's brilliant. I think that again, like if we hadn't seen him in the opening of the movie, that would be a great like build to his reveal.
Yeah. I agree. All right, what do we want to rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's pretty good.
Ben.
Yeah, I'll give it 7.5 as well.
Me, 7.5.
I also feel it is a 7.5 film.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Let's hope the next one is a 10.
That's what I want.
Well, the new movie we're supposed to get the trailer. Well, I was thinking to the scenes of the trailer that I have saw while I was watching this movie, and I'm actually looking forward to the new one more.
Yeah.
Say my name, say my name. It's Ryan's Book Club.
When no one is around you, say baby ice cream. Hey guys, my name's Ryan Eliopoulos, and I picked what I didn't know was an anthology book called The Ice Cream Man, written by good old W. Maxwell Prince, drawn by Martin Morazzo, and colors by Chris O'Houlihan. Just kidding, it's Chris O'Halloran. I just want to say
O'Houlihan.
Chris O'Houlihan. So this book is horrific, you guys, and I just didn't know how depraved it was gonna get. But when this book ended, I immediately wanted to buy the next volume because I immediately understood what this world was and all the Stephen King inspirations and all the Dark Tower inspirations, and I immediately was like, I am so into this book. And it was only 4 issues, and it's just it's this nice little sadness.
We get the Man in Black.
Yeah, his name's like Clyde.
Except he seems to be the good guy.
Yeah,
it's
version.
Colors are flipped. It's
I didn't get that reference.
Caleb and
you're the Stephen King guy.
Yeah. And Rick. Rick is the evil ice cream man, who is also part like werewolf, also maybe spaceman, also absolutely a Cthulhu demon for like it. I thought this again, I didn't know much about it, but seeing what it is, I thought this was really cool.
The first issue is I think what I would call the only true horror issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that was frightening, honestly.
With the spider and the dead parents.
Yeah.
Oh man. I find this world so fascinating because it very much feels like a like a dairy situation where it's an entire town under the influence of whatever's going on.
Dairy? Ice cream dairy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But like all these people living in this town and this demon kind of just doing what for, and then the man in black shows up going, "What are you doing in my town, bro?" And he's like, "Oh no." I think again, it's only four issues, so like there's not a lot of lore, but like there's an issue where a guy goes into his mindscape and goes to like the future and like fights like the evil ice cream man of the future, and it's like
with Eleanor Rigby and Major Tom and
oh my God,
Ziggy Stardust.
That was my favorite issue. I love all those musicians, but like this book was just I didn't expect it, and it blew me away. Just with how really sad it can be too. Just like some really, really sad poetry that's the kind of shit that I really like. Yeah.
Sparks, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I really overall I really liked it. For me, I found the second issue to be a little bit of a lull. Not bad, just like didn't keep me gripped all the way through.
The second issue is the weakest one.
Yeah. But overall, I still like enjoyed what we were looking at. I thought the first issue was solid. Rock solid.
I like the second issue because what this volume does, it gives you a good barometer of how crazy things can be and how subtle things could be. Because we do have one issue like we're going into like space with Eleanor Rigby and David Bowie, and then this one's just about people dealing with drug addiction. And just how the ice cream man can influence the micro and the macro. But I do still think it's the weakest issue, but I appreciate it being there for just showing that it's not just all cosmic stuff. It could be little situational stuff.
For sure. Yeah, I don't even think like I also agree. I don't think it's bad overall. I just, it lulled in places for me. Whereas I felt the other three were pretty solid all the way through. Remind me really quick what happened in the fourth issue, because I'm kind of blanking.
The fourth issue is about the gentleman who goes to his friend's funeral.
Oh,
yeah.
For one last hug.
Yeah, that one was something.
And Chris goes to hell, and his hell is green screen, but also just wacky, and things keep changing.
Yeah, and you're hearing the text bubbles of him over moments in the conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the ice cream man looks awesome. It's like a sludge monster. Yeah, it's definitely like 100% it vibes. Like this is absolutely like Stephen King influenced on its butt. You get the cool man in black. Like I hate that this is only 4 issues because I'm spending how much money for 4 issues? But gosh darn, this is
an Image.
This is Image. It is. Yeah. So this one was $17.
Yeah, the nice thing is like you wait a little longer, they tend to go down in price. Like where they're being priced out at comic stores and stuff, you can usually find them on nice deals.
Yeah.
Image used to make sure that every single first volume of comic book was $9.99. What happened?
I'm pretty sure Ice Cream Man right now is available for like $7. That's what I saw.
Probably, yeah.
When I was looking into it.
Yeah, I find like, man, of course because of the screen skin, I'm not gonna be able to show it, but like some of this just insane imagery of just like the space of like the ice cream future where they were the aging rock star has to save the world in a Bill and Ted-esque moment. But was it happening in his brain? Did that really happen? Like we see a spaceship at the end, like
a yellow submarine.
What?
It's a yellow submarine.
A yellow submarine.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Yes, it is. Oh, good. How did I miss that? I'm so stupid. I just I just think, again, like, there's not much to talk about in these 4 issues because each one is kind of its own little tone piece, with the Ice Cream Man just bringing his own. Everyone has their own flavor of misery. Just like, what kind of flavor do you want?
Do you know what he says in Portuguese in that 3rd issue? I looked.
Yes, I do. Brandon, thank you for. I Google translated it. Let me hold on. Yeah. Yes. I will eat your children's skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, the aging rock star was like, I learned Portuguese so I can teach these, so I can have these kids listen to my old school song. And then the Ice Cream Man says something in Portuguese, and if you translate
super happy about it.
He's super happy about it. Is I will eat your children's skin, and I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so I did not catch that.
Yeah.
And well, also my Portuguese isn't fluent, so
we translated it.
Yeah,
we just put it into Google Translate. We didn't learn Portuguese to learn it.
I spent 6 months learning it for that one joke. Yeah, I guess they probably had to end it at this at issue 4 because that's when you get introduced to a new character who probably drastically changes things. I just don't want to spend $18 on 4 issues, man. That's more than I'd buy them individually.
I didn't realize there was only 20 issues of this comic book.
Yeah,
I mean, it's issue 21 comes out soon, but I wanted to buy this book because the covers, I'm sure you've seen at the comic store if you've looked, they're the Dr. Seuss inspired covers, and they're all like the Cat in the Hat or Thing 1 and Thing 2, but they're the Ice Cream Man, and they're just horrifying. And this book is like, it's doing super well. It's super popular. I said it a million times, but like I think it got picked up for like an anthology TV show, like on AMC or something. But yeah, I'm very excited to read more of this book. I have a couple volumes left to read. Can't wait to pick them up.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much else to say. There's not a whole lot to dive into.
No, it's this is definitely a book I almost wish I did for the book club because it seems very easy just to talk about little chunks. But it was a nice little easy read this week.
Yeah.
All right,
I got
next
thing.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, no, you 3 kept on going, so I
want to talk about this more. Actually,
So I fucking hate the Ice Cream Man.
Good.
What happened to Ben? What happened to Ben? I have no idea.
Damn, he just got shut off, audio listeners.
Sorry, Ben.
If you let me finish my damn thought.
I saw the opportunity and I went for it.
If you will let me finish my damn thought.
Yeah.
Do I have the floor?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Man, it was a joke. Relax, my homie.
No, so
Brandon, that one wasn't cool. Now he's not going to be
okay,
cool,
you motherfucker. I am done with this shit.
That one wasn't cool.
Ben, I'm just kidding. Ben, when have I ever done that to you and just left you off the show?
I know you weren't gonna leave me off the show for real, but fucking hell. All right. When I say I hate the Ice Cream Man, I hate the character of the Ice Cream Man for how vicious / kind he is. Because when I was reading the first volume, I knew that something was off about him. And actually, you guys say that issue 2 is the lowest one. I actually like issue 2. I think the weak issue was issue 4 because that's the one that I forgot until Sparks asked what was going on. Because I completely forgot issue 4. 1, 2, and 3 were the ones that was more prevalent in my mind.
I also just forgot issue 4. What was issue 4 again? Right.
It was the dad and the son. Because for me, issue 2, like when the Ice Cream Man finally shows up, I thought, oh, he must be like, he's kind of like the manifestation of the monkey's paw, where he's offering you, that's the dead body, I know, where he's offering you the one thing you know you want, but if you take it, it's going to go south. And of course, Karen takes it and she dies of an overdose. Because when I read the first volume, I thought, oh, okay, we're going to see 5e, which I really like her, the cop. And I'm thinking, okay, she's trying to find out these things, and she's the protagonist. The Ice Cream Man is the antagonist because he can apparently turn into this creepy werewolf monster and can magically turn things into ice cream. When it turned into an anthology series centered around the Ice Cream Man, I'm like, okay, this got a little more creepier. Like the kid with the spider and the Brazilian spider, and the two parents are like, that's messed up.
It's pretty. And it's playing a commercial, the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, it's playing a commercial. And I feel like because I did notice that like the vultures are gonna eat your eyes, or when he says stuff like that, like when he speaks in Portuguese, like I will eat your children's skin. I feel that is what he is saying, but that's not what the people are hearing.
Oh yeah, it's traditional shit.
I wanted to know more about 5V. 5V has a thing where she can apparently read her partner's mind.
Yeah. Again, like it's these little things where I'm like, I'm sure that's going to show up in like 5 issues or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting too.
I just the green screen's ruining it again, but like, find the music people. I love it.
Rocky Raccoon, Ziggy Stardust, and Eleanor Rigby actually had her face in a jar. And Ruby Tuesday, like when I got to that episode, I'm like, oh, I'm like naming all the bands, all the songs. I actually really liked it because it made me feel sad because of an aging rock star who had that great one-hit wonder in the 50s, but then just fell off because the subsequent records didn't measure up to the one-hit song.
Yeah. Bud Hickey. Look at Bud Hickey, just rocking all the time. Look at that old guy. I love it.
Yeah.
Did he save the world?
So I did enjoy this book. I did not like the feelings it gave me when I was about to go to sleep 10 minutes later.
That's exactly the point of horror. Did it stop?
Yeah, and I don't want to read anymore. I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that scary, honestly. I didn't think it was all that scary, honestly.
It was more the imagery, like it was more the imagery, like when we see the last page, the cowboy in black, as I'm just gonna call him, and then you see the ice cream man huddled, but his face is in shadow. You see his teeth that are pointy and jagged.
For sure.
Hold on, I'm just gonna.
I felt it was I talked about Gideon Falls a lot. As far as like horror goes, I think Gideon Falls was a lot scarier for me. I had nightmares about that one. I don't think I'll have nightmares about this one.
Sure. Well, no, they're drastically different books as well.
Yeah.
Look at that, Fraser Irving, a famous Power Rangers artist.
Yeah.
Famous Power Rangers artist. Yes.
Yeah, because when I was reading the book, there are times when I'm like, what exactly is the ice cream man? But then I just chalked it up to like, you know what? He is just a being that likes to wreck people's lives.
Yeah.
He has what do kids like? What do people enjoy? They like the ice. They see the ice cream man. They're like, oh, Mr. Ice Cream Man. He'll always give you a thing of ice cream, but that's a one-way ticket to hell or a one-way ticket to
the ice cream man. The ice cream man in my neighborhood sells drugs.
That's kind of ice cream man.
Well, good then.
All right.
The soup palace.
But yeah, I thought this was a solid pick. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. I'm interested in reading more at some point.
Yeah. I might revisit this again in the future, but as of right now, nope. I'm good.
I'm not. Right. I'm not. You're not the horror boy like I am. It's okay.
What are you talking about? He loves Stephen King.
I keep forgetting. I don't know how.
It's literally the longest running joke at this point.
It really is.
Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do for next week. I have a couple of picks I'm deciding about whether or not I want to keep being spooky or do I want to move on because next week will be November 1st. Even though we are doing a horror movie next week, we are doing His House.
Oh, then do it.
So I don't know. I might pair that with a horror book or I might pair it with a other book. I don't know. I'll talk to you guys after this.
Sure.
Okay. We also have other shows on this channel. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay or if you're listening to the audio, we have a lot of stuff on YouTube on this page. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel, however, because we've got a lot of cool shows, such as the Fake Nerds Watch. Fake Nerds Watch is a series where we do after shows for various nerd-based TV series. Started with Game of Thrones, recently ended with Lovecraft Country. We just did our final episode of Lovecraft Country. That is in the description below and up on this channel now.
Boys.
We also did The Boys. We did a full season recap. That's up on this channel now. Link in the description below. And coming up, we're doing The Mandalorian. It's coming out at the end of this week.
Wait, it comes out at the end. It comes out next week.
It comes out on Friday.
Oh
my god!
Yeah,
too much entertainment. Oh my god.
Yeah. So there's The Mandalorian's coming. On our basement arcade, we got some spooks. Some spooky arcades. That's our Let's Play series where we go through various video games. We have Dead by Daylight highlights, 2 of them up. By the time you listen to this, the second one will be up, but one of them is up now.
So I want to clarify. It's there's one highlight video, and then the next video that's going up is just a full session. It's not highlights; it's a full session.
Oh,
Full
good night,
sesh.
Mag. Good night,
Bye,
Mag.
Mag.
So yeah, Dead by Daylight. There's a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of Ryan. You're really fun to watch.
Thanks. I try.
All right, and we also have Left 4 Dead coming this week.
Yep.
Yes. It was so nice playing that game again, Sparks. Let me tell you.
It was.
And more Basement Arcades will come, especially when this quarantine lifts.
Right.
We also have the Victor Book Club.
Ryan and I could finally finish Sonic Mania.
Yeah. How many parts do you guys got left? 30?
Who knows?
I don't remember anymore.
We also have the Victor Book Club. That's our freshman series, our newest series. We're talking about book series, comic book series specifically. We currently have a series going with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. A final episode is coming. Maybe this week, maybe next. Don't play that one by ear, but it is coming soon. That'll be the end of it.
I'm going to take a week after. I'm not going to be this coming week. I'll still partially be here and traveling back. So
that'll. What's that?
It's just a Catwoman cover. That's just gorgeous as hell.
Yeah, that'll be our last Power Rangers, and then we will pick a new book and we will do that one. Guys, this quarantine's not stopping. Make us stop. Buy your masks. Buy our masks. We still got some. Fake Nerd Podcast masks. You can click the link in the description for my girlfriend's custom-made Fake Nerd Podcast mask. I'll even sign them. I don't care. You want to have Sharpie on your mask? I'll do it.
I mean, I don't think
that's a good idea.
Like, I don't think
your friend on Downright Annoyed was like, if I buy one, will you sign it? And I said, I guess so, but it would just be me. And he was like, I don't care. Do it. So I did it.
Okay.
There you go.
I wonder if my mom bought a mask because she saw me wear mine once and she said she wanted to buy one.
Nice.
How come Fanny never bought one?
She just wears his.
Don't do that. Click the link in the description below to get your 27th favorite podcast masks. We also have a Patreon if you like to support the show. Really cool. If you like to be cool people, that implies that you're not cool people, and Mag sticks with us the entire show, so that's really bad. We have a Patreon. You can click the link in the description below to go to our Patreon where you got one tier. Don't do the $25 tier. I'm taking it down. I promise. I swear. We have a $5 tier where you get some cool stuff that I haven't updated. And you can go to our TeePublic. Man, I'm really selling the Patreon, right? Boy, that sounds great, doesn't it?
Sounds so
I mean, when we utilize it more, we'll I don't know.
We don't believe in a lot of content behind paywalls.
Yeah.
But we try to make it enticing for people to supporting us, not enticing. I don't want to get into that. A TeePublic. We have a TeePublic. You can buy some shirts. You don't want to buy content. You can buy some shirts. We gotta get paid for those.
Yeah, you can buy T-shirts with me cartoon as a cartoon telling you to not be a dick.
Oh, that's Ben, right. I think I want a shirt with your face with a Dodgers jersey.
What? Why?
What?
And I meant a Giants jersey.
Oh, there you go.
Funny, Brandon.
Now it's funny.
Man, this is.
I was like,
this is a little flow today.
It's like, you want to put me on a shirt while I'm wearing my Dodgers jersey?
No, we should just plaster a Giants jersey and Giants baseball cap over the "Don't be a dick," and then say World Series champions when the Dodgers inevitably lose. Go ahead, Brandon.
Boy, I love that.
I don't.
All right. Or we got Ben, shut up. I'm doing the end of the show. Or you can go to our website, our www.fakenerdpodcast.com, where you can find all these links at that website. Maybe some new articles if I can get myself to write them. I want to write about Quibi. I really want to write about Quibi. Thank you to everyone who listens. We greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you to guys who have been watching this live stream. Thank you to everyone who every week late at night watch this 3-hour live stream for us.
Yeah.
Like, y'all really appreciate that, honestly. Like, seriously. But thank you to everyone who listens and watches the replay and do all that. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Make sure to subscribe places. That's later in this whole thing. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci.
Wait, thank you to who?
Jeremy Vellucci.
Oh, sure.
Oh, shit!
I love you.
He's been here the whole time.
Entire time.
What are you kidding me?
Sparks told me that if I was quiet the entire time that you made the podcast, he'd get me a cookie. So
Yes.
Holy shit!
He makes our music, y'all. It's amazing.
Oh my god.
That's good. That's good. I'm really damn high, so that played really well for me.
Oh man, that is good. That is really good. Holy crap.
That's a reveal.
Wow. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing a lot better now that I've seen Sparks' flashlight here. Oh, it's a flashlight. I'm sorry.
There's a Borat joke about that actually in the new movie.
That's a good one.
Anyway, thanks, dude, for our music.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for letting me make the show, because otherwise I wouldn't have a feed.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, he's got a podcast, Suburban Proctologist.
Oh, is there an outlet?
Oh boy.
Oh no, now you got it off.
Now you gotta leave.
Yeah, so you maybe know, maybe you don't know that I do a show. It's called Suburban Proctologist.
We literally talk about it every week.
Oh, then you guys probably know, so I don't have to say anything.
Where can they find it?
Oh, I don't even know anymore.
Okay, let Brandon do it.
All right, you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on iTunes, or you can find it at Suburban Proctologist Official or at Subproc Podcast. You can find you at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and it's on Spotify too.
It is on Spotify. Yes,
it's on Spotify. Yeah, you can find it anywhere. And eventually, I'm going to put it up on YouTube.
Yeah,
to cover all my bases.
Yeah.
And you got a new episode coming, maybe?
Yeah, stuff's being written. So here's what happened. I had an episode 90% done, and then I decided I didn't like it anymore, and so I haven't erased it. I'm going to cherry pick good pieces out of it. There's some good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Good pieces.
Needs a rewrite. Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. My compadre here is going to help me outline some stuff. So
we were literally talking about it 2 hours ago.
yeah.
Wow, that's funny as hell, though. So maybe we'll get some new theme music from you. Also, we've been talking a little bit about it.
The studio's done. Well, it's not done, but it's I moved into it now, so I can actually work again.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the studio.
A good couple months there where I was really scraping the barrel to get any time writing anything. So now I can actually get to work again. I've got all my keyboards laid out, and I've got a little cubicle of sound. So
I love it.
Okay, now we have to go off you and talk about Mike Mottola, our other collaborator.
I got a surprise for you.
That'd be funny.
Who's this Mike guy?
He made the logo.
Oh, I'm gonna have to beat him up then, because we're competing for airtime.
Mike Mottola is a good friend. He's been on the show a couple times. Maybe on the show coming soon. We'll tell you more about that when we do that. You can find him at Mike Mottola. He did our logo for Fictor Podcast, Fictor Book Club, and Miscellaneous. He's not here, so he can't talk for a couple minutes about it. So anyway, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ryan?
I'm at DJ Tony Snark everywhere, all day, every day.
Ben?
You can find me rooting for the Los Angeles Dodgers until the day I die, and also apparently being the butt of every joke alive on the show at BenMaggot27 on Instagram and Twitter. And also, if you happen to like old school video games, like me, I write for oldschoolgamermagazine.com. New articles coming up this week. I was going to try and write it today, but unfortunately didn't get around to it because reasons.
Dodgers.
Not just the Dodgers. I woke up late because I only had 4 hours of sleep.
Your turn. Jeremy, you did it. You did your thing already. I did your thing, actually. Sparks.
You can find me spending the next couple days with this handsome son of a bitch at Sparks Witty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music and Podcasts. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Until next week, guys, stay fake nerds.